Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings with me, Larry, Lawrence, Punk, whatever you want to call me. I've probably been called worse. Thank you for everyone for showing up already. 19 here. Thank you very much. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It's going to be a big show. I think there's a lot to talk about. I may have to go a little bit quicker through some of the stuff if we even want to get to the topic, because there's a lot of Joe news that's come out. And once we hit to the Joe news, it kind of slow down. But there's even been Joe news that I didn't really expect that dropped today from McFarlane. We kind of knew that it was coming. And now we finally seen the little page punchers. Can't say I'm super excited about them, but hey, you know what? If you want to get your kids into something, you're going to get a comic, get a small little 3-inch action figure for GI Joe, and hey, you know what? Good for you. Good for your kids. Get them reading, get them playing with toys and all that other stuff. Anyway, let's cover the early stuff. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I did. I had a good weekend. Went on with Allison on Sunday to do a drawing. What did I do with my drawings? Right here, look at this. Got my little drawing. Not my drawing. I'm sorry. My coloring. So adult coloring. I picked Care Bears. Trying to get it straight. And if you're wondering why we didn't do G.I. Joe, someone actually did ask. I just thought, like, hey, you know what? We did G.I. Joe the first time that I was on there. And G.I. Joe's kind of boring when it comes to colors, and I want to do something different. And I think a lot of you guys know my Care Bears story. So, I went with Care Bears. I thought like the Smurfs, because she's always like throwing a little Smurf Papa joke or Smurf joke at me that I'm 3 apples tall. But all they are blue and white, and you're already on white paper. So what are you really gonna color? Matthew, you're right. I do love Care Bears. I do. I had a story. If you want to go watch it, just not right now. We got a lot to get into. Anyway, let's start with a couple things that I want to discuss. First is, listen, there's a lot of content creators out there, and there seems to be a lot of drama, and I don't know why. I don't. But I gotta say this. Listen, if you like a content creator, it doesn't matter if others do. Enjoy it. But this is what I have to say. If you're watching a content creator and they are putting down another content creator and they're not showing any proof of what their issue is with them, don't just take their word for it. You can still like that content creator, but don't go on the attack and attack that other one or think you can't watch them or like them. Do your due diligence. Do your research. I know someone's going to say, hey, you know what? You attacked a couple different ones, like Viper Island and stuff. Listen, I gave the proof of what the issue was. And the other one, hey, you know what? I can't say his name, so I'm not going to. But again, I'm also not telling anyone not to like it. But again, there's a lot of content creators. They seem to have this beef. Want to start problems. Listen, if content creator that you enjoy is bashing someone else, I hope none of you feel like you can't go watch their content. Also, don't just take their word for it, because they can tell you that he did something or she did something, and if you don't have proof, they might just be the ones that are lying about the BS. So anyway, I needed to discuss that. 1 second, All right, now I'm going to discuss this one again. No one is going to tell me how I should or shouldn't run my channel. This may be maybe a little bit too much. Listen, I've mentioned this before. I do not ignore anyone in their chat. Okay? If you put a chat in, listen, I have 1,300 to 1,500 chats going on throughout a stream. I do not read everyone. I do not try and read everyone's. I look at them. Sometimes I think that it's in a conversation, or maybe I see it and I think that it's irrelevant to the conversation. But let me tell you something. If you are so upset that I don't read your chat, your message, send me a super chat. I promise you, then it will get read as long as it's not, you know, something very awful. Okay, I'm putting this to bed. I'm not going to address it anymore. If someone sends me a fucking message that I didn't read their chat, I'm just fucking blocking you. I don't give a shit anymore. All right. I don't. I'm tired of it. I don't need people like that in my channel, or on my Instagram or whatever. All right. I thought I've made that perfectly clear that I have no reason to. If there's an issue with someone, the moderators will take care of it. All right. Hopefully, I don't get heated anymore. All right. So, quickly, let's say hi to everyone in the chat because there is a bunch of people already. 40 of you guys going right now. Thank you very much. Hit that like button if you haven't already. So, quickly, Largo was in right away. Greetings. We got Alice and Troy. We got my dog, Roman the dog. Had to sneak in early today. Owner's been keeping a closer eye on me. I will say this, when this was sent, because it was before the stream started, Roman was not in my room. He was with my daughter. So we have Matthew, my moderator here, counting down. He's always trying to get me to go a little bit early because he gets bored. We got a spaded one Mick Destin. You know what? I know we did this before. I'm not doing it today. Spaded one. Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. We got Woody 22. We got Liquid Identity here. We got Toyamic Displays. I know you're fairly new here. At least you're posting. Thank you very much. You've been really a really good addition to the channel and the chat. So we got Eric Thurman here. We got the Down South 77. We got Pancho Studios in here. Nolan, so we can start the chat. We got Wraith Mace. I caught your live stream for a bit on. It was a gaming stream, but I catch it. I gave you a like. I really like the stuff you do, and you have a really good voice for this, which I know I don't. We got Capitan here, and let's see here. We got Odin01. We got DJ and No Good. I want to say I don't feel like I've seen you before, and if I have, Matthew, but you know what? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Definitely a big welcome here. We got Kiwi GI Customs from across the pond. I love saying across the pond for some reason. Thanos Copter is here. We got Graph. We got J Astro. We got Feces Viper. I'm sorry, that one makes me laugh now. I enjoy what I enjoy. No room for negativity. I got better things to do than argue about small stuff. Toy drama sucks. You do you, brother. Thank you very much. Again, listen, I have no problem speaking my opinion, and I think it keeps me off a lot of channels, or at least people asking me more often, but it's fine. Listen, I'm good. I do this more than enough, and I think we got a really good audience here as it is. So let's say hi to Carol. Always good to see Carol here before her brother, who's supposed to be a big supporter of the channel, but he's probably watching something on Motu, or he's probably on another live stream. That guy whores himself out to every live stream that there is. Love you, Oz. Viper Scout is here. Did I say Viper Scout? If I did, let's say it again. Just kind of reading through some of these really quick. Is there anyone that I missed here? We got K-Dog Broadcasting. So this is one thing I do want to say right now, okay? And I should have been saying this more often. We got Impossible Pie here. We got Viewmaster Figure It. We got James Lucas. We got Stephen Komerick. I think I said that right. We got Bill Lioneer here. Jay Solarts. God, every single time you get me, J Solo Arts. I try, your name. It's right there, J Solo Arts, in your icon. But I try and read it every single time. You would think by now that I would be getting it. Okay, Mike and Nikki, and then Gigolo fam. We got Miguel Rivera, like someone else. Derek Holloman. All right. So this is what I wanted to say quickly. Listen, if you are new to the channel, if you've never posted here, if you've never said, hey, hi, you're just a lurker, I want you to jump on the chat and just say hi. Just say, hey, here, hi, I've been watching. You don't need to say anything. I want to make sure everyone feels like they can get involved, because I know when it comes to, especially this community here, there's a lot of people that know each other. And they're going back and forth. And I know a lot of people may feel intimidated, but I just want to say, listen, if there's new people here, you've never, you're new to the channel, just hit that hi button, or hit the hi button, say hi. Or if you're watching on the replay, make sure you say hi, say, hey, you know what? Here, been watching you, never wanted to chat, but I just love listening to you. It's all good. I definitely do enjoy it. All right. Okay, so quickly, I should mention this more often, and I never do. I mean, I probably mention it more than people want me to say. But anyway, if you guys don't know, I do have some merch up here. And hey, listen, if I don't plug my merch, then who's really going to? And I have to say, I would love to go to Joe Fest and see some of the stuff there, or just get pictures and see people wearing some of the stuff. So if you are interested, I did the Damn It Larry hat, the Damn It Larry shirt. Everyone seemed to really like that. Well, everyone seemed to like it. You're saying Damn It Larry. I don't know if they really like it. And you got the BBTS, a Punk with Toys here. That was for Tony's Figs. He really wanted that one. And then a few pictures that I did. Again, I tried kind of redoing comic covers with the actual figures. And then obviously my logo. I really do like this. This was something. As a matter of fact, there was a guy that said, hey, just subscribe to your channel. I saw the Vision. This is Vision Streetwear. Totally stole it from Vision Streetwear, homaging it, I guess, shall I say. But I got a bunch of different shirts. If anyone is interested, also with Roman. So again, I would love to see pictures of people with this, with the merch. I mean, let's be honest. I'm gonna show. I'll wear my own stuff, but there's mugs, there's stickers, there's all kinds of things. I don't know how this shirt got put in here, because that's not supposed to be there. I'll have to remove that later. Anyway, that was that. We can get rid of this. I know there's still some more stuff to discuss. I do remember No Fear. That was never my thing. A matter of fact, someone just posted the BB Bad Boy Club. A kid I grew up with. He just happened to post it. I want to say hi to Cobweb and My Buddy's Customs. Need a Short Kings shirt that only comes in children's size, so it fits you. Let me explain something. Ed, who has met me, can tell you I am not fitting in any kids' sizes. Oh, and Sarge could also tell you I'm not fitting in any. Look at this. You guys are so mean. Look at this. You guys are so. You come to my channel and insult me. John, I've never showed up at Sergeant Red's and insulted you. I bring my daughter to do that. Okay. There we go. So anyway, I want to say thank you to Allison. I mentioned about being on her channel. It is great to get on and just be able to sit there, shoot the shit, chat with everyone. Another thing that I'm going to do, and listen, I'm always trying to figure out something that I can do for the channel members. And it's difficult because I have, hold on. Okay. I have a full-time job. I have kids to take care of. I'm always doing something. I'm putting out a lot of content. But I was watching this thing. I think it popped up on Instagram or YouTube. I don't know. I was going down the rabbit hole, right? And it was on one of those like America's Got Talent or something, which is really America Has No Talent, to be honest. But this lady that's a singer, this girl that she's a singer, she goes, I wrote a song, and it's of all the mean comments that people leave to me. And it was awesome. And I thought, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. Every couple weeks, go through my comments and just do a members only. Just do a short 5-minute video, 10, whatever it is, and read some of the mean comments or the angry comments that are leveled at me. I think that it would be pretty comical because I don't really get too offended by anything that's said to me, especially on my reviews. Like, listen, if you haven't watched the stuff that I do, if you're calling me a shill, someone said that I need to think for myself and not just say what everyone else says. When it came to the blowback, like I said, and I just responded. So you haven't watched any of my videos. Thanks for watching. And here comes John, stupid jerk face. Can I be first? Well, I guess it all depends on what is said. So anyway, it's an idea that something I think I can do fairly easy. Put it out fairly, not wasting a lot of time. So anyway, okay. Thank you to everyone that uses the links, Entertainment Earth, Amazon. I see everyone that's using these. It does help support the channel. And again, if you're buying anything, it's great. But there's a lot of people that are using the Entertainment Earth. I definitely do appreciate that. And then this Thursday, we will be discussing They Live with Rowdy Piper on Thursday Movie Flashback. Now, I knew that I'd watched this movie when I was younger and hadn't seen it in quite some time. I have to say, I realized after watching it, I have never seen it before. I guess I have just seen so many clips of it that you think that you'd actually seen it. But as I watched it, I realized I've actually never seen it. So it'll be good to talk about that, break that movie down, and how we actually break it down. So, but let's do that. I just want to throw that out there. So this Thursday, 10 p.m., Matthew and myself, and also I got to mention this Friday, Matthew, my moderator, will be on Payne's Toy Samples. Payne is going to do his best to break him down, make him cry on camera. It will be absolutely awesome. And let's say hi to Headache 79. They Live. No Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is so dreamy. I agree. Unfortunately, I'm not taller than him like some people think. We have Realm of Toys. All right. So before we get into the news, the topic today is going to be backdrops. I really needed to get away from, all the stupid toy drama. And I feel like you're always trying, like every topic seems to be about like the pricing scale or why people don't like, I needed something that's more uplifting. Now, 100% honest, I've seen a few comments. I'm not going to be telling you guys what to buy or what, what you can get. But if you see in the back here, I have a bunch of different things. And again, some of the stuff, and here's going to be, it's like these 3D printed oil barrels. Now, I'm going to be the plug. I sold a few of these, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to print some. So if you are interested, $25 for 4 of these shipped in the U.S. Or if you want 4 of these in this barricade, $30 shipped in the U.S. Again, I use these all the time. Somebody had hit me up and asked about them, and I said, hey, you know what? I might as well print up a few and see if anyone's interested. If if you are, you guys all know how to get a hold of me. If not, probably go on eBay, or maybe I'll do an Etsy store or something like that. I'm not sure how Etsy works. Okay. Largo asked, what kind of soundproofing squares do you use? They are Amazon ones that it was $12 for $24, I think. And they come completely smushed in a package. Completely smushed, and you're like, there's no way. And then once you release it, the air just comes out. But I find them on Amazon, pretty cheap. I kind of wish I would have went with the blue and the black would have broken things up a little bit. Um, Toyamic displays. I'm an extreme sets fan. I have a bunch. I have a bunch. I have my own with foam, and I have a dolly house. Yes, a grown man with a dolly house. It's my ex mansion, but it makes for great picks. I want so before we get. I mean, obviously we got a long time before we get the topic. Even as a kid, my grandmother, she was a pack rat. She bought all kinds of things. She used to have this little thing, and it always reminded me of like the little store from Little House on the Prairie. And there were no people in it, but it had like um, it would have like little flower bags, and it had this whole setup. And till just now, when you said Dolly House, I hadn't even thought about it. And man, I wish that would have been one of those things I would have grabbed because it was never she would never let me play with it for the GI Joes, but I don't think it was ever the right size. I think it was too big for like GI Joe, but there's never figures or anything in it. Like she never had anything in it. But yeah, okay. So now I think we got through everything. I did my plugging, my shilling for my merchandise and different things like that. Go buy some. All right. Support the channel. Do all that good stuff. You guys know how it goes. All right. I'm looking down here. Gotta figure out where I'm going to start. Okay. Masters of the Universe. Quickly. So I had a Chaz the Guru. Sounds like Abuelo was doing voodoo. And then we got B-Boy. I got my Niger Houston skate park with a skateboard for another from a different brand. Okay, so I have looked. I think the steps would be really good for background, all those like tech decks and stuff. But the handrails are so low that they would work better with 1/18 scale. But I've looked at some of those, and I've often thought of that. But you're absolutely right. Like that type of stuff, the tech deck stuff. I didn't even think about that till you just said it. I look at it all the time. Anyway, Motu. Okay, we just had 71 people here. We dropped down to 64. God damn, man. Like, I literally just put the picture up. You guys don't have to leave that quickly. I don't even have that much. Anyway, Moss Man, the non-flocked version, so it won't be $40, which is part of Turtles of Grayskull. This did drop, or at least the image of it. And again, I'll be talking about these, even though I'm not really collecting it. I don't like this Moss Man. I don't like anything about it. I think I was watching Robo Don't Know, and he was saying how much he likes this, and I think it was Robo. And I look at it, I hate this, but he also hates flocked stuff. Although if you go watch his thing where he talks about how he had to do a customized Moss Man to flock it for Vives, it's pretty damn funny because how someone can have a fear or a phobia of flocking is it's comical to me. But listen, I'm not going to judge the man because it's really easy to dislike something so much. But on the side, you have Moss Man. You can kind of see what his arms are doing. Good artwork. Again, I've mentioned before, Motu does the best artwork. Here we have the back of it. Moss Man fighting one of the turtles. And then we got another side version of it. So this is the artwork of it. Here's a better look of it. Just kind of zoomed in on it. Again, I really do like these. To me, this one doesn't really do anything for me. It's really bland. Not much to it. But here you have him fighting Leonardo. I feel like these two figures, there's not too much that's different about them. Obviously, they're in, well, turtles are Motu form, but again, still pretty cool. If you're into this line, I think it's awesome that they gave people this type of stuff. So, J Solo Arts, I got it right. Question: what was your favorite figure to see on the pegs? What looked the best in package? Of what are you talking about? Are you talking about the these Turtles of Grayskull figures? Because the only one that I've seen is the one that I picked up, which was Mouse Jaw. I think Ram Man looks awesome though. Like of everything that I've seen, like in video and stuff, I think Ram Man looks the coolest. You know, it's a chunky boy, so a little bit of fat shaming there, I guess. um, Chad says, I am mad that Masters of the Universe never got a Panther to match Battle Cat. Oh, Master Verse. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. I wonder why they never did that. Probably because you could have bought that thing for like $4 after a while. And Buddy says, I just painted my Motu TMNT Shredder and a Raphael. You do some amazing stuff, man. And I have to ask you, you can comment, tell me, super message. Is it okay if I use the pictures that you've made for merch? Or can you fix them up if you do? Some of them are hard to. All right, and then we have a Rockman. I forget what this dude's name is. I did look it up. So it goes up on Mattel Creations on the 16th. Thank you very much. The fact that you did the stuff that quickly. If I can get it onto merch, I definitely will, because actually Dreadnought Ryan had said, hey, you need to get that stuff up there. So Rockor, thank you very much. And I did look it up, and I remember this guy. It was after I was really playing with toys, but I know, if I remember correctly, they had one that was like this, because he always reminded me of that Transformer that you threw back and it shot and just kind of flicked up. That's what they always remind me of. I'm not going to be getting this, but it looks like from Mattel Creations, it will go up on the 16th, I believe. So if you are interested, check out Mattel Creations. Get all the information there. This is just not something that I am impressed with or that I want. But hey, you know what? I don't have to like it or want it for other people to enjoy it, right? Isn't that why we have so many different types of toys? Dude, seriously, honestly, like, I watch some of the stuff that you do. It's really good, man. Because I can't paint worth shit, nor do I even really try. And Cobweb says, ornithobia is also a fear of flocking. Okay. All right. On to our boy Todd. And no, we will not be talking about the Page Punchers, because that came out today, and it's GI Joe. GI Joe stuff is going to go always in the GI Joe section now. I just think it works better that way. So, all right. Let's say hi to Andrew Taylor. Weren't Rock Lords a GoBots offshoot? They might have had something very similar. I think you might be right. I think they might have had something very similar. Fatrid is here. Lawrence doesn't ignore chats. He's a one-man marching band. Cut him some slack. Thank you very much. Like, honestly, it's true. And again, I'm sorry that anyone feels that way, but I can only express it so many times to the point where, you know, you're ready to scream about it. Honestly, like I do this for fucking free, man. Why am I wasting my time or having a headache? You know, over, like, I missed your goddamn chat. Anyway, don't start. Olivia already let you out. All right, so lots of superpowers, and Tony's Figs isn't even here. He must be working on the bus, maybe. I don't know. Lots of McFarlane superpowers here. So if you like superpowers, get ready. Yeah, they may be cheap, but when they drop like 8 figures and 3 different vehicles, you might be spending a good amount of money. So here we have Sinestro. Obviously, he has the lamp, or whatever, lantern. The lantern, I guess, makes more sense. Lanterns, right? So he can charge his ring. Again, I fully believe that Warner Brothers DC has missed the boat without just creating a whole Green Lantern universe that would go into a DC universe. I know they tried doing the movie, but man, I think the Green Lanterns are just absolutely awesome. Johnny Reno says Tony is on his way home. He was chilling with me just now. Well, I hope you spooned him for a little bit there, Johnny, because I know he likes that. Here's how they look in the package. So basically, I only threw 2 shots up there. But we have, Sinestro, I think is really cool. One thing they really got right in the Green Lantern movie. Here we have Kilowog. I think Kilowog is absolutely awesome. Big boy. But this is where you lose me. You gave him 2 fists. You should have had at least some sort of open hand where it could be a fist, or maybe you could pop the lantern in. They don't even give him a lantern. And again, I know they're only $10, but at least give like one accessory to go with some of these things, right? I just think it's kind of ridiculous. Again, you work really hard for your money. You're going to give it to you. Most of these, I'm not going to say mostly, a lot of these have been repaints. There's a lot of new stuff in this wave, to be honest. But again, I noticed it seemed like there's a lot of non-accessories. And some of these have already been found at Walmart. I was watching Toy Habits. They were saying like some of the stuff's already shown up at Walmart. So nice kip bashing Roman's head on Lawrence's body. Did I miss something? I don't even want to know what I missed. Oh, look, and there's Tony right there. There's Tony right there. That's mine, Kilowog. Good job, Tony. You can get it. Hope you got spooned really nice by our customizing boy. Cage's Customs or Johnny Reno, depending on where he's at. So we have Blue Beetle. I'm sure the body is probably very similar to other ones, but it does have, I believe, the older Blue Beetle. Again, this one does absolutely nothing for me. I know some people are like going to be really into it, and that's awesome. Like, hey, you know what? If you like it, go get it. Again, so I know a lot of people seem to like this one, but he comes in no accessories, and again, I think you're missing the boat, especially like these are $10. These are stuff that you are going to be giving, that you're hoping kids will get into, right? So give them some accessories, because I know as a kid we didn't think too much about accessories, but there were some GI Joe guys that didn't come with stuff breaker, and without a gun, he was pretty lame, to be 100% honest. And I just saw a few new people pop in. We got Cobra Commander here. What's up, gang? We got Brick something, Thanos, Liquid, Nolan, Fatred, Ed, Cobb. People, stop putting that FU at the end of Fatred. It does not belong there. And then I know I've done streams with Emerald Knight. I've met Emerald Knight in person. I don't know if I've ever seen Emerald Knight show up on one of my live streams. So, John, thank you for showing up. I really do appreciate it. All right. So here we have our first Brainiac. And as you can see, no accessories. And now this is the Brainiac I kind of remember from the Superpowers. Like that color scheme and everything. It's kind of what I remember him to be like. I kind of forgot that they all had panties, which I'll wing underwear on the outside. So this, and he does not come with this vehicle, but this is the Brainiac vehicle. And I gotta say, it looks pretty damn cool. This is definitely something, if you're a 1/18th scale Joe collector, you could probably use this for Cobra or Destro, something like that. It definitely would work. You got the Robo Skull coming. This would, I think that this would work very well with the Robo Skull and different things like that. So if you're a 1/18th scale, a 1/18th collector, It's going to be a little big, but again, you can make it work. But I think it looks awesome. And to go with the Robo Skull, which is way more expensive than this thing's going to be. I know because I ordered one. Brick says he's a supercomputer. He's got to make sure he doesn't overheat. So that's why he doesn't wear pants. You know what? Hey, listen, as long as there's a good reason for it. So here's the back of it. You are going to get some translucent plastic on it. And I'm not sure how well you can see it in the pictures, but it does have a sticker that kind of gives you a display. So it has a pretty cool heads-up display. Again, that is the type of stuff that I remember as a kid. Toys like this having. A GI Joe, you had to have your dad pretty much, or your mom. Mostly your dad, at least for me, to apply the stuff. Okay, first off, mods, kick this dude out. Not Globulus. We hate Cobra La. I thought we've discussed this. We got Hyperdelic here. I don't collect superpowers, but that skull ship is cool looking. Yes, it really is. I think the next vehicle might even be cooler, to be honest. But I think this looks good. And to be honest, until I just saw it now, I didn't even think about pairing it with the Robo Skull. But I think I might have to pick one up just to pair it. So here's the Blue Beetle. I don't know. Brick, someone that is really into this, tell me what this thing is. Now, it's hard to always tell the scale of things, but it has the big bug eyes, which is cool. Translucent figures can fit in there, so you're looking like, hey, you know what? 2 figures can fit in here. And now remember, these figures are like 5-inch. They're like 5-inch figures. Digital diarrhea. Don't get short with us, Lawrence. Oh, wait. So Andrew Taylor says it's the bug. Okay. Listen, I apologize if anyone gets upset with me for not knowing stuff. I do apologize. But you guys know how this goes. I like cool things and I don't know everything that's going on. I do know my GI Joe though. So again, not the coolest here. I think when it's open, it looks really good. But this is what really caught me is this figure is like a 5-inch figure, right? Like roughly 5-inch. He fits in there pretty nicely with a lot of space. So that tells me this thing is going to be a fairly large vehicle for what we mostly get, and probably around $30. Maybe this one will be a little bit more because it does look like the size is going to be bigger, especially bigger than whatever the Brainiac vehicle is. So it also has this sweet ass thing. Like, I'm sorry, like I saw this and I'm like, this is just cool. Like, this is the type of stuff that as a kid you loved playing with. Anyone that had the Dragonfly remembers the cable that came down and you could fly, figures are grabbing onto it. That type of stuff is fun, and this is super cool. Where it looks like it's made for his hands to grab properly. So if you're a kid, you're gonna be swinging this thing around, and at $10 a figure, you're probably not gonna think too much about it if it does break. But these things are made not to break. I mean, in my opinion, from what you see on them, they're made to be banged around and played with. So, Brick says, I hear you on the HUDs. What I remember oohing and eyeing as a kid are the transparent pieces on those awesome vehicles. The windshields are red. I really do like that. And I gotta say, and again, even though I'm not a great photographer at all, I do my best when I try and take them. When you can find something that just it tints something, when you're trying to take a shot of them, the Hiss tank is like the perfect example, even though it's not really tinted, but the way the light and everything is, I think it's just really cool. And again, I don't think it's something that's like going to break the bank when it comes to toys and everything. So again, I just think this is really cool. These are not toys that I collect. I didn't even collect them. I didn't even play with them really as a kid. Obviously, I had some or I played with some. It wasn't my thing, but I just think for the price that you're getting, for the durability, these are just fun, and he pumps them out. To me, if you were a kid and you like this stuff, it would be like when you go to Kmart and you get a new GI Joe figure. There's always new GI Joes, or at least it always seemed like there was new GI Joes. So, again, congrats to McFarlane. I think he does a really good job with this type of stuff. So, there at the bug, it says it right on it. So we have a gold Superman. If you're like, hey, you know what? I need a gold Superman. I don't know who's saying they need a gold Superman, but there is somebody, I promise you, that wants a gold Superman. Um, Probably Ryan Dole. That would be my guess. Eric, your Kmart was the best. Again, I told the story. We used to go there, and I just go to the toy section, and so the story of Adam came out. Adam Walsh, if you know the story, that was, we went there, and I got pretty much just left there. And then my parents would come get me, and we go to I don't know of all the Kmart's had it, but the one by us had this amazing cafeteria. I always get the Jello. They had this big long line. You leave all your stuff in the cart on the outside there. It was so cool. And say thank you to Digital Diarrhea. Member for 1 month, 65 people, only 27 likes. It's one button press. I agree. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Hit that like button. Honestly, guys, it costs you absolutely nothing. And it tells YouTube, hey, you know what? People are watching this. Get out there. And everyone says it could go nice with gold Batman. If they made this in 6-inch form, it could go nice with the Baroness and the Crimson Twins, the Crimson Strike, and Pimp Daddy Destro. See, these are the things you're missing, Todd. Uncle Todd, these are the things you're missing. All right. And there it is. Again, he should at least change the color. I mean, I give him a lot of credit, but at least change the color of like the Superman, because he looks nothing like that. He obviously does not have the blue suit. Even Super 7 has no problem going through and just hitting that dab to change the color. So, Matthew says, after church, 7-Eleven for Slurpees and comics. That whole comic spindle rack was absolutely awesome. Or like what we saw in Rad when they were all just kind of lined up there, and awesome. All right, so this is the McFarlane exclusive, and it is the same mini Robo Skull. And Brainiac's a little bit different. He's got a cape and everything, but they come together. So this is an actual figure with a vehicle. I gotta say, this does look better than the other one. The translucent green is absolutely amazing. I think it looks really cool. No doubt about that. The goatee on him. And Silver K jumps in. Smack that like, y'all. Thank you very much. Make sure you jump over. Follow Silver K. She does a good job. Has some crazy makeup at times. But hey, you know what? She looks like she's having fun. And isn't that what this is really about? So I spent like 2 days talking to Silver K. Her and I just going back and forth about the most random shit you could ever imagine. It's some of the best conversations you can have when you just start talking to someone that you don't know that well. And you're just talking about the most random shit in the world. She's sending me voice notes, and in one of the voice notes, she's like, "What are you merging for?" And then she goes on to her thing, and I message her. I'm like, "Did you ever find out why he was merging?" And here she says, "Thanks, Lawrence. Yeah, I love doing fun makeup looks." But yeah. Anyway. Back to this thing. I think this looks awesome. I'm not a huge fan of the figure, although they do give him a different head. Is that a glow-in-the-dark head? I forgot to mention, I also got my UV light. Now, this thing really makes shit glow in the dark. And yes, thank you, Oz, even though you can't show up to my stream here, but other people did say it. But if you have glow in the dark, yeah, buy yourself a $10 UV light. It is awesome. um, but yeah, this figure looks pretty sweet. Now the vehicle, just again, same thing that we've already seen, but the color schemes just work, and the translucent green that's on it. I see this thing and I'm like, wow, I really wish this wasn't a McFarlane exclusive, because I can't see myself ordering from McFarlane, the McFarlane shop for something that I don't really want, just to get this. Where, like, if I saw this in a store, especially if it went on clearance, like almost all McFarlane stuff does, I would definitely pick it up. Because again, it could easily go with the Skeletron that I have coming in, Destro stuff, different things like that. So, Matthew says, "Who knows? Everyone is making glow in the dark stuff and not telling anyone." Yeah, I saw your thing with the Skeletron. Machine Man says, "What was the spider thing in Doom?" I do not remember. So if you guys know, yeah. And right here, Geek the F Out. Go follow them on YouTube and Instagram and all those other places. Just go there now and hit like or subscribe. Don't leave. Don't leave. Make sure you hit the like button here. Okay. So as you can see, here's how everything comes. And again, it's actually pretty cool that it comes. They actually come with a figure. Here we have another Batman, because you're like, oh boy, there almost wasn't a Batman. But there is. Don't worry. And the Batman that's on the cover looks nothing like this one. But now, is there some backstory to this? Because I'm just kind of looking at this. And what is the writing in there? So, K-Dog, again, why? Eric says 5 likes. You guys now, here's the whole thing. You guys have to understand, with the likes, it does not change. Like, when you see how many people are watching, it changes. The likes will not go up to your refresh. It makes absolutely no sense. So I looking over here, it says that I still have only 2 likes. But if I refresh, I should have 72 likes. But yeah, that does change everything for some odd reason. Like, why they do it like that, who knows? And Elon Musk showed up as I hit refresh. All right. Okay, and that is the end of this slide. Oddly enough, and a crazy thing, when I am doing my slides, where'd it go? For some odd reason, the McFarlane stuff takes up a lot of space. So I have to break it up into slides, because you can only do so much with StreamYard. The size can only be so big for the stuff. And we have Payne, who showed up. And as I mentioned earlier, 74 of you right now, listen, this Friday night, my moderator, Matthew Matson, don't call him Matt, will be on Payne's Toy Samples, where he tries to make Matthew cry like he does to everyone else. It should be a good one. And we will plug that more on Thursday's show. All right. Let me take another drink. Just kind of looking through here. There are 55 likes right now. So at least that's what it was when I hit refresh. But so 72 people. Math's not working, guys. Matthew says he cries easy. Let's see here. Payne is asking if Matthew is alive. He definitely is alive. We have Headache 79. Payne, have the lamb stop crying, Matthew. Hey, and War Chest full of toys just showed up. Good to see you here. Got a long way to go, guys. So don't worry, you're still gonna get well over 2 more hours of me. Not sure if that's good or bad, but hey, you guys are the suckers that stick around through it. So, all right, Boss Fight Studios dropped a bunch of stuff. I really do like. I do like what Boss Fight Studios does. I think they make some really good product. Uh, all the figures that I've had very minimum issues, and I'm definitely waiting to see what their 6-inch figures are going to be like. But I'm not getting in on the Popeye, and I think they look amazing. I just don't know. I mean, they're going deep with Popeye. Uh, I mean, the stuff that they're showing, I didn't know that there's so much. I didn't realize there's that many people that are into Popeye, but clearly there are. So Popeye here comes with a, 3 sets of hands, uh, 2 pipes, one on either side. That's very Super 7-ish, but at least they moved the pipe. Super 7 wouldn't have even done that. And then he comes with a duck with wings. I don't know what that is. Looks like a duck that's half dragon. I don't remember. I know that every time that I go to Universal, we walk by the Popeye section, and I'm just like, do kids even know who Popeye is? And I don't think they really do. I know my kids really don't. Here's Popeye in white, and I know Robo. It's weird saying Robo, not saying Robo from the Foosh, but Robo from Robo Don't Knows. He said that the white and the blue, so the two of these, they came out like 3 months between each other. So that's the reason why they're doing 2 different colors. And he is a Sailor Man. And yes, I did see. Snow Wolf says no spinach. I believe earlier ones have spinach, but you are correct. It is kind of weird. So maybe before they didn't show it because, I mean, these figures are the exact same, just one with the white shirt and different color. So nice doing a repaint, in the same wave. I'm sorry. And Chaz, Popeye is new classified. Get in on it early. I listen. I'm almost positive the earlier ones come with spinach because there have been other lines, so maybe they're trying to get away from it where they're not always giving the spinach. But I'm kind of, I'm with you 100%. Every Popeye should have spinach. I mean, it makes no sense not to have spinach because that's his superpower, right? Or that's what makes him super strong. And we have the chef. I don't remember his name. But it is. I remember this. I do remember him. And I know when Robo talked about it that, he was always waiting for Wimpy to pay him. And I see something about like every Tuesday or something like that. I don't really remember that, but I do remember that as the story arc of Wimpy always not paying. But you can see his hat came off. I was trying to look and see. It doesn't look like this is held on by a magnet, like the Plunderlings. I really wish it was. I think I wish every company was doing that, using the magnets to hold hats on. It is so much better. You never have to worry about them really falling off, unless if you tap them. It says if this was Super 7, spinach would be a separate pack you get when you order the full wave. Oh, don't worry. We'll be talking about that in a little bit, Viper Scout. All right. So this guy comes with some pretty nice accessories. Looks like maybe he does come with a big bowl of spinach. He's got his. I'm sorry. Just the fact that he's chasing after someone with a meat cleaver. Is that a meat cleaver? Even whatever it is, it's kind of funny when you think about it. But he's got a spatula. He's got his menu. Again, a pretty cool looking figure. Unfortunately, you really can't just fudge these into, let's say, like a classified or a Marvel Legends display because they're so very cartoonic. But they do look super cool. Allison's is definitely a meat cleaver. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't have a meat cleaver in my house because I don't really need one. If only we could ask Alice's Alice's boyfriend slash husband from the Brady Bunch, he would know. And then we get this creepy ass thing. God bless you. I remember this, and yeah, it does creep the hell out of me. There's no doubt about it. Again, I don't remember the name, but it is one of those weird things. But I like the look of it, like plastic wise. Uh, Steven says the magnet hat idea is great. I wish classified backpacks had straps instead of those pegs that don't work. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. One of the biggest issues with the pegs with the classified is where it is on their back, and if they do have a strap, that peg is too short. Um, I'm with you 100%. The goons. I like Chad. I like Chaz must already be in on it, man. He knows, man. It's the goons. He's ready for this to take over classified line, which saved me a little bit of money. Speaking of classified, Amazon did charge me for the diver, though it hasn't shipped yet, so I just don't see it showing up tomorrow. All right. This guy comes with a club with some spikes. He's just creepy as shit. Not to be confused with Alice, Sam the Butcher's wife. I said Alice from the Brady Bunch, right? I did say Alice, right? I tried to do my best not to say Allison because that's what I had on my mind. And I just couldn't remember Sam the Butcher. But I remembered she was married or dated a butcher. And then we got this big beefy guy, and I think this guy actually looks really good. You don't get very much with him. I know nothing about this guy. When I was watching Robo, he was saying that he's a caveman that drank something, so he's immortal. So he comes with a little teacup, some giant hands, and that's about all. But they are the same. They are the same cost. So that is nice that they're keeping the cost the same, giving you a bigger figure. But again, it does suck when you go really when you skimp on accessories. And we all know the reasons for some of them, but it would be nice if they gave a little bit more. You know what, Salmon Grundy. You know what, you're dead on. Not to mention, Popeye was made in 1929, I think he said. So it's coming on almost 100 years, which is absolutely crazy. Geek the F out. This looks like badly shaven paws. Don't mute me, Dad. I'm assuming you're talking about this one. I can't really argue. All right. On to the Saurozoic Warriors. I like that because I can actually say Saurozoic Warriors. I was going to go all in on this line. I do have the first 5 that came out. I really do like them. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned, Hasbro has pretty much told me, no, you're allowed to collect GI Joe. That's how many classified figures we're going to give you. I actually am kind of thankful that NECA hasn't given me any more gargoyles. So I've kind of had to pull back on these. I didn't get the second wave, but I think they look awesome. I don't care about the drama that they may have stole the idea from another company. I don't give a shit. They're fun, they're colorful, and they fit with your Masters of the Universe if that's what you're looking for. So, says Popeye was before the censors. He could get away with some weird. Listen, there's a lot of stuff. Look at the old Tom and Jerry, like the stuff they did back then. Yeah, Popeye was a holdout from my dad's era, and I'm old. No, you're not that old. I take it back. We're all really fucking old to be. I remember Popeye. Like, I remember watching Popeye. It's just like when you go to Universal Studios and they have the whole Popeye, And I don't know if it's like that in Florida. I know I'm in California. In Florida, you know, they have this whole Popeye section, and it's all for kids. And again, they make it fun for the kids, but I'm like, did you kids just think like they walk by and it's like, oh, this must be something that's made up for Universal? Where it's like, no, Popeye's been around longer than everyone here. So here we have another one of the Saurosauric warriors with a pair of nunchucks, which I think looks pretty cool. You can tell, obviously, this is an Asian version of a pterodactyl. So I can't wait to. I don't know if they've already said what their names are. War Chest says if Guar doesn't have it trademarked, we could call him a ball sack. I have a feeling that Guar has all of that. Those are some very smart people, contrary to the drugs that may have taken Odorous way too young, and doing stuff like that. But those guys are actually pretty damn smart. So this is obviously an army builder because I have two of these figures already, but not with the cape. The axe is different. The color scheme is completely different. Actually, all the accessories are different, including the helmet that comes on it. But this mold, this buck is the same. I actually really like the. Can I say that I like the? Can I say that I like the minty green color? I think it works better with the dinosaur than winter figures. Ryan says, I remember a Son of Popeye's cartoon. Well, there was a time that there were so many different things. I don't remember that too much. But yeah. Oh, so Eric says, yep. No Popeyes in California. Yeah, it's hard to say what. I've never been to California. I know what's in the Florida one because I've been there a few times. You know, I mean, they have like The Simpsons, which is really cool, but it's like I don't think kids when I think of Simpsons, even though it's a cartoon. Anyway, I like this figure. I mean, I like the other ones they did, and then we get the Velociraptor, and I have to say this. It really reminds me of the Toronto Raptors color and everything. Like I saw this and I'm like, dude, this looks like the Toronto Raptors. So he's obviously a samurai, and I believe that Robo said he called them the Samaraptor, which actually does work pretty well. And Maeve Ray said, I couldn't like. The moment I saw it, I could not see it. Like it looks everything like the Raptors. So there's no way that they did not look at like when they were designing Raptors that I'm sure the Toronto Raptors logo probably came up and they were like, all right, well, let's just do the color, you know, a color scheme to it. But I look at it and I just see, yeah. But there we go. That is the third wave of the Saurosauric warriors. And so here is the unpainted version of Radisonia. You can see that it's sporting pins here, but I would assume that's just because of it being the prototype still. I did pre-order this. I think this figure looks absolutely awesome. When I saw the 6-inch bodies, which I think the blank bodies for the 6-inch figures are going up at Boss Fight Studios. So it's just a blank buck where you can paint. Great for guys like Tony and Cage's Customs and all those guys that are doing the customs and doing all the painting. But this Red Sonja looks amazing. But I saw the update on it and I was just like, I need to throw this in here. I did pre-order this. This is one I'm probably not going to end up doing that whole like Do I really need it? It's going to be a one-off for me. I think she looks absolutely amazing. But again, if you want it, BBTS, I know it has it. I'm not sure who else has it up, if Entertainment Earth does or not. I'm not sure who all carries Boss Fight Studios. They seem to be kind of hit or miss at Entertainment Earth, but I could just be mistaken. Whew. All right. I'm gonna take another drink. Again, guys, doing this on your own, it takes a lot out of you. You always got to be talking. You always got to be kind of reading stuff. And again, without you guys doing what you do in the chat, I think it would make this stream way more boring. So thank you guys for everything that you do. All right, Marvel Legends. Nothing new came out, but a bunch of pre-orders did come out for the X-Men animated series for the Wave 2. We've seen all these, but they did go up for pre-order. So we do have Scott Summers, X-Men 97. I like what he comes with. And I know it's not a lot, but the fact that they give you a head with the visor blast, then you also get a head without, that doesn't have the slot for it. But yeah, they also give you a hand because you remember he was always grabbing the visor and doing a blast. So I like what they did there. I do have a comic version where it has the same blast, and I really do like it. But I don't remember if it comes with an alternate head where you can have it without the visor, which it just kind of looks weird without it. We got the Goblin Queen. I know people are upset still, but again, this is from the X-Men 97. That's hopefully will come out this year. I think this figure looks really nice. I know there's a lot of complaints. People want the underboob. They want this. They want that. It's like, all right, you know what? Sometimes you got to take what you can get. Yes, Boss Fight does do the Fraggle Rock figures too. They make really nice figures. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they don't do more promotion. I know when they had a thing not too long ago. It was sometime in 2023, and they were revealing a lot of their figures, a lot of their stuff that's coming out. And there was honestly 70 people watching. I'm looking at their YouTube and I'm like, why do you have 3,000 subscribers? You should have a big subscriber base. You should be doing more on social media because you're not getting, other than toy tubers that talk about you, you're not getting advertising. You're not in Walmart and Target and different things like that. So I don't understand why they don't do more social media. Most of the companies do, from Valaverse and Super 7. I mean, a lot of these ones that I don't even like, they seem to do more. Boss Fight Studios does not seem to push out that much media on social media, which makes no sense. Anyway, Goblin Queen comes with Giant Baby, couple of hands. And if you guys remember, we had the whole Giant Baby talk on one of them. Brick says, oh, shoot, I forgot to shout out in respect to Wayne Kramer from Detroit Legends, the MC5, Rest in Power, with Carl Weathers, kick out the jams. Yes, Carl Weathers died, and if you're on my personal Facebook, I always find a way to upset someone. Okay. This may be the worst. Is Jean Grey. I don't know why they can't find some sort of accessory to give Jean Grey. I feel like we get the same hands constantly. Bad head sculpts over and over. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I just feel like they can't get it right. Also, so Carl Weathers died. We just did Predator as our last movie. Matthew, what was we did another movie where someone died either right before we did it or right after we did it, and we're like, dude, we just did a video on it, a Thursday movie flashback, and I forget who it was, but someone had died either right before or right after we did the video. So, Thatcher says, Lawrence, are we allowed to self promote on the Punks with Toys Facebook group? Yeah, yeah. If you have a channel and you want to, if you have a channel, if you're on the Facebook group and you want to, highlight something that you did, yes. Here, no, because this stream is people come here to hear me for some odd reason. I don't know. You guys are crazy. But the Facebook page, yes. If you're on Facebook, Punks with Toys, yes. And you have a channel, you have a video up. Yep, you can promote your video. If you look through it, you'll see so many people that do it, and hopefully it's helping them out. So, but yes, great question. Magneto here, Big M. I swear, like maybe the Marvel Legends team and the GI Joe team were like, all right, you know what? You put out Tiger Force Outback with the big Tiger Force. Well, we're gonna put out Magneto with the big M. Maybe it's a competition. I need to get a big shirt that just says L for Larry. I always laugh because in Laverne and Shirley, Laverne always had the L on all of her stuff. So, Clint Jarkison says, Punk, do you prefer newer hats, 47, or do you worry about the fit? I don't like trucker hats. I can tell you that. I don't really care. If it fits me and it fits my tiny little head, I don't care. As long as the strap isn't too far over. I used to love fitted hats. When I was younger, I used to love the fitted hats. But finding I wore obviously I had a small head, so it wasn't always easy to find one that fitted me properly. Liquid identity. As long as the L isn't on your forehead, you're not going to do it either, right? K-Dog says, my opinion, this line has been one disappointment after another compared to what I was hoping for the X-Men. The problem is they're dropping all these figures and no one has seen the movie or the TV show. So that's what's really disappointing, because maybe that show comes out and everyone looks at it and it's like, oh my God, this looks just like the X-Men 97, because there is a difference in the animation from X-Men 92, something like that, to now. So there is going to be a difference, and it's it is kind of different, or kind of disappointing that we haven't seen it. And I don't know why this show hasn't come out yet, because people have been waiting for this. And we have Nightcrawler. I know people have been waiting on a good Nightcrawler. Matthew says 94. Clint says, I bet X-Men 97 was probably supposed to drop early. I think so too. There was talk that it was supposed to drop way earlier. And then we have a toy kind of mood. What's up, Punk? I love the X-Men 97 line, but Ross, clearance, love them. Okay. And I have been watching Griselda. Griselda is an ugly name. I just want to say that, okay? It is not a cute name. I've been looking for you. Our boy Travis is somewhere in Griselda. I don't know where. Maybe I've missed him. But I gotta say, so far, it has been a damn good TV show. We'll talk about a little bit more about that on Thursday with Matthew before we get into the movie. So, Woody says, yeah, they've had the icon on Disney Plus for over a year and a half, but there's no episodes underneath. They're not even giving us a fucking date of when it comes out. That's what's aggravating as shit. It was supposed to come out I want to say right at the beginning of the new year, and it's pushed back. So it just sucks. Also, Travis says, I'm in the last episode. Apparently, I haven't watched it either. I guess I didn't make the party scene. Well, like I said, I am definitely looking for it. Tony's Fig says, ugly name, but Sophia is always hot. As I said, Griselda is an ugly name. I said nothing about Sophia, who portrays Griselda. What I will say is all the pictures I've ever seen of her, the real Griselda, she's no Sophia. But anyway, back to Nightcrawler. I think this looks really good for a Nightcrawler. And again, once we see X-Men, what is X-Men? X-Men. Once we see X-Men 97, we'll know how good they are. It's kind of crazy. You would assume that they have seen so much. I mean, the team must have seen more than just a few still shots of it, right? They must have seen a lot of the episodes. So, and then we have the Executioner. This guy comes with a bunch of weapons. He looks like Zurg from Toy Story, even with his arm cannon. Someone also mentioned that it looks like Mega Man's arm cannon. Yeah. I know nothing about this character. And it's kind of why I have an issue. People jump on, people have been kind of jumping on these saying, oh, this one is stupid. I don't like it. But no one has really seen, no one has seen the show. So after we see the show, everything may change. You may look at all these figures and be like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. They are aesthetically exactly what the cartoon gave us. So let's hope so, because I really do hope so for everyone that is collecting these and that wants these. So, SH Figure Arts, we're going to get to this one quick because I just kind of cover the figure arts. Got a chip there. Just to get some new glasses. All right. I don't know if there is anyone that is buying a Flash figure arts from the movie, but it is there. If you want it, it is available. I understand that poor figure arts, they must have a contract with Warner Brothers and DC, but it's there. I do want to. My gosh, Glacial Ledge. I'm gonna say looks good. Who the fuck is Executioner? He was in the comics. Let's see here. Payne says former FBI agent hates mutants, stole confiscated alien weapons to go kill the X-Men. Again, like that's the whole thing. Like here's a character that a lot of people don't know, and it's awesome that you're getting it early. I mean, this is exactly what Star Wars used to do. This is what George Lucas used to do. That he would dump these figures, and you had no idea who the figures were, which I think, which is a vast change from what that awful president at Lucasfilm does now, Kathleen Kennedy, where she wants to wait on everything. Where George Lucas is like, here are the figures. That created anticipation. So it kind of sucks because, you're asking someone to spend $25 or $27 on those figures, and people are like, who the hell is this figure? And again, he may end up being one of those peg warmers, and then they're all bought up, they're all gone, and then you see it come out, and you're like, this guy is badass. I need to get him. And then you're paying, top dollar for him. Anyway, back to a Flash that I believe nobody wanted. But hey, if you want it, good for you. Again, if you realize, I brought up Robo a bunch of times. I use him a lot to as research because since his stuff drops on Saturday, I'm able to go through a lot of his stuff. Um, but he did kind of point out that he didn't see the Flash movie. I did see the Flash movie. I wanted to see it. Um, it wasn't as awful as it could have been. It also wasn't good. But it does feel like when you look at the actual design that they added a lot to the suit, which is fine, I guess. But if you're trying to make a movie accurate, I think they kind of missed it. But you can get the running pose. Here he has some eye covering, but I don't really like stuff like this. It just doesn't seem to work in my personal opinion. But hey, there you go. Spindle says Kathleen Kennedy leaves it up to the directors. Jon Favreau made the decision to not release the figures early. I mean, it seems odd that that's how everything is now, that everything is kept so secret and you don't see anything. You might be correct. I'm sorry. I think that woman has completely ruined that franchise in so many ways. But that's a whole nother topic. That is a whole nother live stream that we could discuss one day. I know I've discussed this numerous times. I mean, I was even on with Jay Bartlett. We talked about Star Wars with a couple other people that he knows, but I think the woman's just awful for what she does. Anyway, so if you want your Batman, the Batman looks awesome. Like, I'm sorry, Batman looks awesome. Like, it's like, did you really need to put that on there? But yeah. So here it is. I mean, this kind of looks cool with the with the background, but yeah. Matthew, I'm with you 100%. But this is about the figure. The figure did not do anything to be put in jail. All right. And Hiya Toys. Say what you want. I know a lot of people don't like the J.J. Abrams. They don't like the J.J. Abrams timeline. I really enjoyed it. Matthew will tell me that it's awful. It's odd. We can have disagreements and we still like each other. It's funny how that works. But I think that their figures are really good, at least from the design that we've seen. So we've discussed all of them. There's no reason for them not to produce all of them because they're pretty much using the same buck on all of them. And sometimes the head sculpts are dead on, and sometimes sometimes they are just dead off. Toys don't matter today because Cobra Kai season 6 is in production. You know what? Matthew and I have discussed Cobra Kai. I know we're getting off. If you want to do a TV show of an of an 80s franchise, you just need to look at Cobra Kai and how they did it. They didn't shove everything down in one season. They have broken it up. They have done so much in all these seasons to introduce characters from the past rather than be like, let's throw them all in there and get them in there. It's kind of one of the issues. I'm about to trigger people. It's some of the issues with the new He-Man series. Yes, I said He-Man series. As much as I liked it, like they did try and cram too much stuff in there, and sometimes you're worried that you're not going to have enough time to hit everything. So it kind of sucks in many ways, but I think Cobra Kai does it best, and they had no idea that they were going to last this long, but they took their time. They've introduced things, and I would have liked if I think Master Universe would have done that more. taken more time, but who knows if they're going to get a third season. So, and I'm just going to call you Smokey. Yeah, we'll be talking about GI Joe in a very little bit. So anyway, here we have the new Scotty. Again, what I love about this is that is a rubber overlay. There are no lines in the ab crunch. And the figure looks pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty much like Scotty. But as you can see, there is an ab crunch in this, an ab swivel. Knees and everything look really nice. I still have not had any Hiya toys to see how they are. People say they're kind of fragile. But so here's everything that he comes with. You get the belt for it. You got your phaser, your tricorder, different hands. I still don't understand why they're pending a license approval on the stands. It doesn't make any sense. You got the license to do the figures. What is there a pending license approval to do for the stands? But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back to, the estate of Gene Roddenberry. Maybe there's something there that it just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, here is, what I talked about. There's this overlay here, and the body has an ab crunch and a waist swivel, but you see no lines. I absolutely love it. To be honest, it's probably a lot like, it's probably a thin rubber, the same way that the Jada toys, Ryu and stuff are. So I love that they're doing stuff like that. I think it's really nice because it takes away from this. You don't have to worry about seeing that type of stuff. So, and that is it for this. All right, I can move this. Woo! I'm going to take a drink. I'm trying to read through some of these comments here. K-Dog Broadcasting. Motu has so many reboots. I don't care anymore. Just me. And again, they tried to tie a lot of the lore together to be in this continuity. And I like the fact that they did it. I still think that people of Eternia may be the dumbest people in the universe. I know some people got upset with that. But listen, this guy Kaldor shows up. He says, hey, he's not even the rightful heir to the throne. I am. But I don't even want it. But give it to me. And everyone just goes, oh, good. Here you go. Again, you guys are stupid. Matthew says nostalgia bait is sweet and unfulfilling. Cobra Kai and Ash versus Evil Dead did it right. Jar Jar Trek and others don't. I don't think the J.J. Abrams Trek was. I guess it did lean on some of the lore, but I think that to me kind of created its own using the same thing. But I think you nailed it. Ash versus the Evil Dead. That one did a wonderful job too. It also helps that they had the same guy doing it. That obviously you had Bruce Campbell, and obviously Sam Raimi was going to be involved in it in some way, shape, or form, and they're going to make sure they do everything they can to keep that, at least that universe as untouched as possible, which I love. Okay. I don't know if it's the Trek logo. If it's just the display, a lot of times their displays kind of fit together. The GI Joe one is just, it's not a GI Joe display. So maybe there is a Trek logo, but I don't understand why there's any type of like patent pending. Like, what's there to do? You have the rights to it, right? And yes, we need an Army of Darkness too. I agree 100%. Army of Darkness is still my favorite of the franchise. As awesome as Ash versus the Evil Dead is, Army of Darkness is just so much fun. I mentioned before, we went and saw Army of Darkness. We were still in high school. We went and saw Army of Darkness in the afternoon, Then we went and saw Sick of It All at Biohazard, my first real concert that I ever went to. And just to say that, hey, you know what? If you walk into Sick of It All in Biohazard in Detroit, you, yeah, you're not gonna be worried about any more concerts. You saw the shit go down, man. And don't give me anything about these metal bands or these new metal bands and how rough and tough they are, motherfucker. I gotta say. And the funniest thing was when I met Lou a couple years ago at the end of the show. I just chatting with him really quick, and I told him the story, and he remembered exactly what tour that was with Biohazard. So it was awesome. Yep, same day we saw Sick of It All. It was a Friday because it was a half day of school, and I don't remember why but we went there, went to school, we went and saw Army of Darkness, and then later on that night, Sick of It All Biohazard at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. Still the best place to see a concert. Anyway, I am going to take a quick break. While I do take a break, I am going to leave you guys with this.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Mwahahahaha.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor, right.
Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice.
Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to helldopetoys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from helldopetoys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to helldopetoys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right, guys, thank you for waiting. I still love the 5 subscribers. It's going to make me laugh every single time. So do I have a commercial for us? I'm not sure what you mean. The Super Bowl won't have a commercial that's good. Hey, listen, get on Ted from Hella Dope Toys. Again, if you go there, you get 5% or get 10% off if you use my code of Punk with Toys, which is APWT. I'm waiting. Hopefully, he'll be able to get me another commercial. I know you guys are kind of getting tired of seeing the same one. It would be awesome to just to get another one. I think, again, a lot of fun. All right. So let's talk about a little bit of GI Joe. First thing we'll do here is if you ordered the Mezco Snake Eyes, they charged you today if you didn't already pay for it. So I had only put down the 10%. They charged me today for it. I was talking to Bees Battleground about it, and they've never showed off the wolf other than, I believe, this is San Diego Comic-Con. So it's kind of weird that they didn't show Timber. But here is an actual shot of what we believe is going to be Timber, at least what they showed off at San Diego Comic-Con. I actually don't think Timber looks nearly as good as the classified one. But we'll see when we get it. Maybe there'll be some changes to it. But it is pretty cool. Again, this was an expensive expensive figure to get. But the wolf, I don't know, man. I hope there's some changes to the head. It doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look nearly as good as the classified one. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I'm about to have another wolf to add to my our army of animals for the classified line. But if you did order this, then no, yeah, it's there. It's going to be coming probably within the next month or so. I've only got one thing from Mezco. The other thing I had ordered from BBTS, which was Destro. I would say it probably came about 2 to 3 weeks after they charged me. So, good luck. If you ordered it, we'll see all the reviews soon. All right. Matthew says 3 head sculpts for timber according to the hand box photos. The problem is they didn't show us anything, which I still find really odd that this figure came out and they haven't even like shown that up though. Maybe they'll flat kick. That would be weird. Wouldn't it? That would be strange, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, I don't know. All right. What do we want to talk about first? All right, so let's talk about these page punchers. Now, I do not have. I didn't put them in a slideshow. So if you want these, you can pick them up at Entertainment Earth, BBTS. If you do get them from Entertainment Earth, use one of my links so you can get the to help support the channel. You do not get 10% off them because they're not in stock. Now, understand these. They do come with 2 comics. I watched the thing with McFarlane. He talked about it. They come with 2 different comics and 2 different figures. Now, these are 3-inch figures. So they're not going to fit in your O-ring figures. They don't come with weapons. They are very plain. But I think it's a great idea if you have kids and you want to get your kids into comics or GI Joe and different things like that. So you can see this one here at the beginning. All right. So this one comes with a Crimson Guard and Cobra Commander. And as you can see, it's not a hooded Cobra Commander. So, I wonder why it's not a hooded Cobra Commander. I'm sure someone's going to make a fucking comment about it. But it does give you a stand so you can put the comic there. Now, I don't understand why he gives you only one stand for the comic and how it's not going to collapse. That I'm not exactly sure of. Yeah, Eric, they are 3-inch figures, I believe. And again, they're really cheap. This is $17, 2 comic books and 2 little figures. And again, I think they're awesome. Yes, I know. Hooded what now? Nothing hooded. That's the problem. But again, I think this is a great idea. I don't think this is really for. I mean, if you love GI Joe, maybe you'll get it. Maybe the comics are really good. You got to understand. I would assume that these are going to be written by him. And now he had done a GI Joe comic in the past. Like he did one issue, I believe. But again, you see this at Target or let's be honest, you're only going to see it at Target. You'll never see this at fucking Walmart. But you see this at Target. We've seen these page punchers before with the Spawn. But you want to get your kid into this? I think it's actually a pretty cool idea. Plus, the kids are going to get toys. You could read the comic. Maybe the comic's a good comic. It'd be kind of weird because, again, I would assume this is being written by Todd McFarlane and Image, which would completely have nothing to do with the universe. I don't think it's IDW, is it? He did a cover. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I didn't mean that he wrote the comic. I knew that he did. He did a panel. If I remember correctly, he did like two pages of panels or something weird. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I do remember he did something. I think the figures look pretty good for being 3-inch figures. Again, nothing that I need. They don't fit with my O-ring figures. They don't fit, obviously, with the 6-inch figures. So, but pretty cool concept. Again, if you have kids, so one is Duke. I'm sorry. One is Cobra Commander and the Crimson Guard. The other one is, you got it, Duke and Snake Eyes. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right, because the parent company is Image. You are absolutely correct. I apologize for that. So yeah, maybe this does fit perfectly into the continuity, which would be pretty cool for everyone that is it's going to do it. So DJ No Good says my local Walmart actually has Justice League page punches. Okay, well that's cool. Like I may have seen them there too. I just Walmart is. It's such a crapshoot. I mean, at Target is too, but there's a better chance of finding stuff at Target. But it's good to know. I mean, they should be. There's no reason why these aren't going to be flying off the shelves. I don't believe. But these are special missions, and maybe they just are like older comics from the Image library with Chuck Dixon. I know Matthew would probably know better than I would. And Matthew is saying right here, Chuck Dixon did the Snake Eyes, Hammond did the Duke and the CG and CC books for IDW. Nobody buys them though. I know it's very interesting. I mean, very interesting here what they're doing. So, but I think they're pretty cool. Again, someone else that has another toy line, but he signed a license to do other Hasbro products. He talked about it in the video. So, but I like the idea of having this base here, so you can kind of both figures will fit on one figure sits on either one, and then the book sits up there. Eventually, I would think the book would collapse like anything, but I guess put it against the wall. And I know this is not GI Joe, but oops. But they also have Transformers ones here. Again, if you're looking at the $102, that's a case of 6 of these. But again, you have Wheeljack and Bumblebee, and then you have Megatron and Optimus Prime. So again, they're all going to be in kind of the same shared universe. But again, I think they look really cool. I do like the way the Bumblebee looks. I think that's really good. And we knew these were coming. This is something that had been talked about. Again, not something that I need, not something I have a feeling most of the people here need, but it is a GI Joe action figure. I don't cover everything GI Joe, but obviously I'm going to discuss certain things. And since these things popped up, but again, very limited on articulation. But hey, you know what? If you get your kid into playing GI Joe and now they see Classified, awesome. All right. And then before I get into it, we'll start quickly with Toy Collector on Geek Dead Life had shown the new cover of their magazine, and we do get the Palatoy stuff, the Snow Serpent. I don't think that's Palatoy, but the Destro and the Firefly Palatoy, which go under different names. I don't remember their names. Red Jackal is one. Red Jackal is Destro. Firefly, I forget who it is. So if someone knows their name, throw it up there. Pops only carry 20 of each. They didn't think anyone really wanted them either. Yeah. So, but these are for the reaction figures. Once again, the Super 7 is going to do these not weird offshoots, but these the deep cuts, I guess you could say.
Set an alarm when I get home. I get the dishes done.
Okay.
Also, after you're done, when you order the camera steps real quickly, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sabretooth. I'm sorry. I should remember that because of Sabretooth. And I was looking at it earlier too. Anyway, so these will be coming out. If you love the reaction, you guys probably know my feeling on the reaction figures. The other thing that happened and then was gone, but if you order them on BBTS, I believe Entertainment Earth also had them up, but they got pulled down, was 4 O-ring figures from Super 7. So they have Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, the Blue Bat, and Cover Girl with blonde hair. So if you wanted the O-rings, they will be coming out. I got onto it. I ordered all 4 of them because they're O-rings. So I'll wait to see how they come out and how they look. Joe Fest had posted it. The links finally went up on BBTS, and then they were taken down that day. Now, all the reaction figures that were put up, they stayed up there. So I don't know what it was. Probably because they didn't have any images. Maybe the price was wrong because they're priced at $20. I know that's what Brian Flynn said he wanted to do them at, but it was one of those things where I'm wondering if the prices are going to be more expensive because the reaction are $20, and we know the O-ring is going to cost more to make. And Tony, I will shave it when it gets a little warmer out. I just need to get rid of whatever was on top of my hair. And if I shave my head, it's very costly because I'm blowing through a razor every 2 shaves, and I have to shave my head every other day. So Snake Eyes is Wolverine or John Cena of G.I. Joe. It is a legal requirement to include it at least one of them every wave of figures. I agree. I agree with you. Snake Eyes has been a little overkill. The other thing with the Snake Eyes coming out with the Super 7, and I'll be interested to see how he looks. I'll be interested to see how he looks, but the O-rings that Hasbro did not too long ago, had Snake Eyes in it. So, I mean, I don't think you really need one right now. There's some other figures I think you could have grabbed, but I think we all know they're going to be, he's probably not going to be what we've had before. I assume he's going to be a little bit different. I know, I think the Full Force was talking about maybe it'll be like issue 21 and they'll have like the arm, the Arashikage symbol showing, but that's very, I mean, we have a figure of that. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit different, but it's almost the same. So, but I did order them on. I might just cancel them as they come along. Blonde Cover Girl. I know everyone wants blonde Cover Girl. I don't really give a shit. I don't understand why people are obsessed with Cover Girl being blonde. She wasn't blonde. She had red hair. It was short. She had a giant fucking head with Wolverine. Okay? I don't know why everyone thinks that she didn't. She had a giant fucking head. All right? Cobra Commander. Bats, cool. Like, hey, more bats, more bats, more bats. I'll take all kinds of bats. So have you ever thought of what if Snake Eyes was put into Mortal Kombat? No, because I don't play video games. So I do not. Although I do have those. I do have the Street Fighter figures. And they're a little big, but yeah. They're a little bit beefier than other figures, but you can do some stuff. And Graf seems to really be happy with the blonde Cover Girl. Listen, to me, it doesn't really matter. All right. Let's get to some G.I. Joe stuff because there's a lot of stuff to get to. We still got to get to the topic. And as you can see, I have a camera set up back here. I'm hoping I can do everything a little bit better. A little bit different than what we normally do when we get to the topic here. And Speaking Moistly shows up. Hooded Cover Girl. That's what they should do. They should give Cover Girl a blue hood and say, oh, she also wears this, but you can also use it in other figures. Why have they not made a GI Joe online shooter video game yet? Okay, so I don't know if this is a real question or not, but they've talked about this before. GI Joe is like, because it's Hasbro's property, it's not all done in house per se. It is broken up. So like when Emily talks about how, hey, we have no media, so we're able to pull from everything, any type of media that we want. Although I think there is a change coming, because I think that the new universe is pulling from the classified figure. So I think we might see more stuff from the classified line within the media, which maybe will help some people feel a little bit better. But they don't control that. They don't control the video games. Like, they can't really talk about them. And they don't control, obviously, the movies. They don't control cartoons and comics. It's a completely separate division, gaming and everything. They're just like the figures. That's all that they can do. It is really weird. You would think that in, a company, that's a multi-billion-dollar company. And yes, I am the one that always says multi-billion-dollar company, but not a billion-dollar brand. But you also look at that, and it's kind of like they should all be working together to know what one thing is doing. Like, they should really be working with the new comic series to create characters together. Maybe they are a little bit more. I have a feeling from what I've just seen. I don't collect the comics. It looks like they're pulling from the classified line. So, but I think it would be nice for people to have a first-person shooter. All right. We're going to stick to Super 7. And they came out with another wave of 3 females that are all repaints of figures you've already had. And I just don't get it. I'm also not going to buy it. But, hey, they're there. So they dropped this. I do not remember this episode. I think she wears this as a mask. I don't know what I'm missing. But yeah, so she wears this as a mask. I don't. Was it an episode? Was it a comic? I don't know. I don't remember this at all. Again, it is just another repaint. Here's everything she comes with. Now, she does come with Cobra Commander as a snake. So you can probably imagine that they will be probably hitting Cobra Law at some point. Because why would you give Cobra Commander as a snake if you're not going to go there? But these are just mostly repainted, retooled stuff, repainted weapons. You only get, I guess the mask is considered a head. They don't even give that many hands for her. She has punching hands, and she has her trigger hands, a small little gun. Again, repaint, and they're actually taking stuff away from it. That's the Super 7 way. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Super 7, just in how they do things. I think much of what they do is very disingenuous. And they promise to paint the faces for this wave, which is good. And I'm going to discuss that in a second. So here we have Lady J. Again, just another repaint. I don't remember this color scheme. Why she comes with the Cobra rifle, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Lots of hands, the same face sculpt, and then a couple javelins. They take away all the stuff that would make her a 7-inch version of the O-ring. Again, same price of $55 of a repaint. This is where people really start having a problem. And these things, listen, they're just going to clearance anyway. I mean, they're seriously just being clearance. You could buy that whole wave for $11 each on Entertainment Earth a couple months ago. I know because so many people use my codes to buy it. So Operation Dragonfly was the last great thing and only thing Deke ever did well. So here we have Scarlet. this pose actually looks decent, but we all know she can't hit good articulation. Here's a look at her. I don't know where the gun comes from. Is that a new gun to be? I don't know. I think that might be a new gun. And then a different pistol. Not sure what else she has there in the knife. Now, I don't know if you still hear if Emerald Lights is still here. So I was looking at his, and this is what really pisses me off. So I was looking at his picture, and I didn't want to just use his image, and I didn't want to do it because, again, I don't want to take his picture. I know he's into the Super 7 stuff. He enjoys it. Good for him. He's probably been on a stream with Brian Flynn, or I know he's been on other streams talking about Super 7. Listen, I am very vocal about not liking their stuff and how, especially how the owner does things. But if you're not following Emerald, first off, you're not following Emerald Knights on Instagram. You should, because he does amazing photography. And the best thing about his photography is he take a picture, and then the next picture he tells you exactly what he used to take the picture. But he got this Scarlet in, and I'm going to tell you right now, these are all the same face sculpts. Those face sculpts look like shit, and they look nothing like the digital render or the cartoon or anything that I've ever seen Scarlet in. It is absolutely awful. Again, the fact that they continue to do this. So I can tell you right now that they're not going to retool it, and these face sculpts are not going to look like what you're going to get in the digital renders. They're not going to look like anything in the cartoon. They're just going to look awful. And they know it, and they're just throwing out a repaint. Why I'm even buying the O-ring of a company I don't like, I don't know. I'm just hoping that I'm going to be lucky here. Cobra Commander says, I got the Super 7 GI Joe first wave on clearance. I used Punk's code. The figures look good, but the joints are loose, especially the waist. I'm glad I didn't pay full price. You know what? I paid like $65, not including the shipping and handling, for that SDCC bat. And let me tell you, it was such a piece of shit. The joints were loose. Things broke. It was missing a part. It was just awful. Yeah. It was just absolutely awful. And I understand what they're going for. They're going for a different aesthetic, but they missed the boat not making these 6-inch figures. I understand they wanted them to fit with their figures, but if they would have made them 6-inch figures rather than 7, made them fit with the classified, I think people would have liked them a lot more. I still see people like taking the Cobra Commander and stuff and trying to put it in the classified line, like, oh, it doesn't look bad. I'm like, yeah, except for he's an inch taller than everyone. Yeah, it looks awful. You know, it's like taking fucking your classified Destro, putting with your O-rings, being like, oh, I didn't really notice. It looks about the same. He's not that much bigger. All right. I'm starting to get upset. All right, so anyway, enough of Super 7 there. But if you order through Super 7, now the one thing Super 7 has done is they changed it. So you pay shipping, so you pay a flat rate fee of, I think it's $7 shipping and handling on your whole order. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think it was all of in stock items. It's got to cover this. So they did lower the shipping and handling, which is really good. Liquid Identity, yeah. 7-inch, you're right. 7-inch doesn't even matter. It's the quality that comes nowhere close to the asking price. Yes and no. I'm with you 100%. It is not worth the asking price. But when you have this huge line of GI Joe, people would have loved to have actually had characters that look like the comic, not me, but other people, that fit with the classified figures. So you're all right in that aspect, but people want it because you have this huge line. If there was no 6-inch GI Joe figure, then you're right. To me, 7 inches wouldn't matter. To her, it may. That's what she said. Anyway, if you order from Super 7 and give them your money right now and you wait 3 years to get this, you will get a pack of repainted weapons that came with the original figures that you probably already had ordered. like the laser rifle for Cobra and the crossbow. And you can see what they are. All right. These all, again, it's nice that Super 7 is saying, hey, if you buy this from us, you're going to get this pack of stuff, right? But all they are repaints. Like, give people new stuff. How about that? Give them actual new stuff to go with the characters that they have. That would say, hey, you know what? That would be an incentive to actually go and order it through you guys. All right, digital renders. So GI Joe Day went bonkers without a live stream, and it was too bad they didn't do a live stream. Sadly, I still feel like Hasbro looks at GI Joe as the redheaded stepchild and treats them that way. Again, it makes no sense. This is pure profit for you, and you should want this to be your biggest property. I mean, even compared to Transformers, which is still a shared property in Japan. So this is just all profit. And when you have repaints, it's even more profit. And again, I'm not criticizing the repaint, but there is a reason why things get repainted. So that's good. So people have been talking that, hey, with these M60s that are showing up on the Vamp and different things like that, do you think we're going to get another roadblock? I was like, I'm not sure if we're going to get one yet. I was wrong, only it ended up being Tiger Force. So this looks like it's going to be a 2-pack. So probably $55. You can really see how much bigger Roadblock is. He is on the gigantic buck, where Tripwire is on a normal buck. Now, Roadblock definitely gives you the backpack. So there's no doubt that for the retro card, you're going to get that. It has the handle to create the Modus if you want to. It's got the tripod that sits very low. There's a lot of different things to this. He still has the giant pistol. And it does say chef on his backpack, which I think is actually kind of cool. And then when you look at Tripwire here, he still has the McCloud. I forget how B's Battleground said it. You get the 2 landmines. Hopefully they fixed the landmines. I'm sure they didn't. That fit properly in the backpack. If you don't know, if you don't have Tripwire, you can't put the landmines flat on a solid ground because the peg sticks out in the back. Hold on one second. All right, someone wants to go outside. Now, it definitely looks like Tripwire here does not get all the extra accessories that we got with the other one. And if you watch my Tripwire video, and I'm sure there's other people in the Tripwire review that talked about it too, they give you enough stuff that if you have a plain buck by, let's say, someone like Valaverse or something, you can use that to create a whole nother character, which is what I did. Get an extra helmet, get a different vest. So I think that was great with the original one. That's why it was, the $35 price point, or $33, I think, actually, for the deluxe. But they just give the pistol, and you get your metal detector and different things like that. So, or mine detector, I guess, not really a metal detector. So, again, I think a lot of people will be passing on this. Now, and there it is. Another Roadblock. Now, understand this. It's been a while since they've given Roadblock. He's not as accessible as people might think that he is, and he always was in Tiger Force. So, it is one of those things where, hey, we're going to get these. The thing is, there's a retro card one coming. There's no doubt about it, because they just gave you everything to do a retro card. And I know a lot of people weren't happy that the Amazon exclusive came with the Gatling gun. So And I think people kind of forget, like, some of these figures have not been available for quite some time. There hasn't been a Cobra Commander for a while, even though you could still find him. But anyway, this is not going to be for everyone. I know that for a fact. Now, whether or not this will still be a Target exclusive, that's what I wonder. Because so far, all the Tiger Force have been Target exclusives, and then they eventually go off being Target exclusives the same way the retro cards from Walmart have in the Cobra Island stuff. So it will eventually change, but these may not be. These might be a Pulse exclusive because it's a 2-pack, and I think all the 2-packs have been some sort of Pulse exclusive or fan channel exclusive. All right. Here we have the, why do I want to say Night Viper, right? Night Viper, right? I didn't get this figure till recently as an O-ring. Actually, on the way back from Florida, I stopped and picked one up. So what they actually give with this one is they make it so you can get 2 different heads. You get a version 1 and you get a version 2. So you get version 1 and version 2, which is actually pretty cool. Night Creeper. I'm sorry. I know it. I have just total brain fart. Like I said, I do know my GI Joe, but thank you very much, K-Dog. And Liquid Identity. So I don't remember the version 2. I know I've looked it up. It looks more like a Cylon than anything. But here you have all new weapons sculpted. The hands are a remake from either Storm Shadow. I think those are actually Snake Eyes hands. Storm Shadows are actually a little bit different. But the crossbow fits perfectly to what his aesthetic was. The swords are the same aesthetic. You get the Chinese star. I'm sorry, the throwing star. Don't want to offend anyone in my Asian countries, in my Asian listening areas. But I think this actually looks pretty damn cool. Again, I'm not huge on the second head sculpt, although I'll probably get a second one just so I can have 2 of each and have one with that head sculpt and post out a little bit. Lots of ninjas. I know not everyone's into ninjas, but it is part of it. And Liquid Identity says, still banking on Major Blood retro this year. Major character and so many missed out. Now, that's something I wonder because Major Blood, the fact that was only done once so far, and it is really one of the best figures that they've done. So, very interested to see how that actually turns out. If they do another, I mean, they're going to do another Major Blood eventually because people are going to be waiting. Clint Jorgensen, Chinese Star is my favorite Chinese food restaurant here in town. China Star, which was the Chinese place that had been by my place by where I grew up and where I would still go to, just went out of business out of nowhere. I think they just finally had enough. Very disappointed because I can't find another Chinese food store or a Chinese restaurant that's such a hole in the wall that still has good food. So it sucks. All right. So we knew Nagahide was coming. He has his boar, but they threw in a monkey, which I don't know. Is there a backstory to why he has a monkey, or were they just like, hey, you know what? We need to make this worth the $45 price that it's going to be. Now, as you can see, he comes with the sniper rifle that comes with low light. It is a better sniper rifle bag than that crappy Valaverse one that is from the Dollar General. He has again, this is where you have the brain fart, the bow and arrow, and backpack from someone tell me because I can't think of it. Who's the bow and arrow come from? Just someone hurry up, tell me. It's gonna drive me nuts because Shadow Tracker. The knife is all new, or the blade is all new. Monkey is new, and the boar. Again, I am interested to see this boar. Again, they are knocking it out of the park. I think the sniper rifle works absolutely wonderful with this figure. I did not have a Naga hide when I was younger. I still don't have one. So this is good to see. The monkey is going to be interesting. It doesn't look like it has any articulation. So hopefully there'll be something that's a little bit different. But Johnny says, love ninjas except for those dumb blue ninjas. But yeah, I like the fact. I know there's going to be people mad. There are going to be people mad that they are reusing GI Joe weapons with Cobra. It is a sniper rifle. I understand. I believe the M4s and different things like that should not be. AK-40 shouldn't be with Joes, but I understand why they mix and match them. All right, Eric, that's for you. Then we got Doc. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know why we all love Doc so much, but we do. I think Doc looks really good. And hey, shocker, he doesn't look like fucking Mace Windu Viper Island. So thank you for fucking striking my fucking Instagram fucking page. You're such a piece of shit. Sorry, guys. Had to get that out there. He looks nothing like Mace Windu. Yet that asshole went and told everyone, hey, look, that's Doc. Fucking moron. Anyway. Doc has the green glasses. As Tony's Figs pointed out to me, he has the pill cases on the side of his helmet, which I knew the helmets were different, but I didn't realize that they were pill cases till I was talking with Tony. I'm like, holy shit, you're absolutely right. But he's got the flare gun. He does lose the flare, which I'm perfectly fine with. I never even understood the flare because you can't really hold it anywhere. Wraith Maze, man, I'm sorry. Like that piece of shit, dude. That motherfucker never wore Detroit. He always wears fucking Minnesota. Minnesota, eh? Fucking piece of shit. Anyway, I love that they gave him the stretcher. It does look like it is collapsible, which makes sense. Probably pegs onto his back, in some way. Now, my question is: now I don't have the stretcher anymore. I have no idea how it connects to the Dragonfly, but I wonder if they have somehow made this so it can connect to the HasLab Dragonfly. That would be amazing. But the detail on this figure looks really, really good. I'm really excited for this. Like I said, I don't know why we all love Doc so much. He has no guns, and if you ever heard me, I've been very critical of tripwires in the O-ring form not having a gun, and a barbecue, who I think is a completely worthless GI Joe figure. I know the military does need firefighters. I just don't want them to play with as a kid. But Doc is awesome, and I guess you do need your medic. I think Doc is way cooler than Lifeline. Lifeline was just a sitting duck, but again, you're not supposed to be aiming and taking out medics. We're kind of upper. Okay. Listen, you fucking customizers. We know that you analyze what they all are. I sat there and talked with Tony and was like, good fucking Lord. If they haven't, they have failed miserably on that front, Lawrence. Anyway. Then we have Torch. I do have one complaint. And hopefully they will rectify it. The fact that they wrote Knox and spelt it wrong is a huge blunder that needs to be fixed. I'm not a customizer. I'm not one of these people that is going to point out every single thing that's used. Tony. Actually, I do find it I find it very, I don't say amusing. I like how they're able to look at stuff and just kind of break it down like, hey, he has this, and that, Anyway, Torch here has Dr. Mindbender's boots. It's already bugging a lot of people. I didn't even really realize it. And I have to go look at my other Torch, my actual O-ring and see how it is. But the one thing that I got from this figure more than anything is you have 3 flame effects, which means now your bats can actually have flame effects for them. So I am excited for that because now these bats finally can do something with that flamethrower that is on their hand. So hopefully they'll do a pack. They'll probably start throwing out these more and more as they do more bats. They'll probably do it like, all right, well, we have them. Let's throw them on up there. Liquid Identity says here, sculpted glasses, super thin, let me face, mind bender boots, and not acetone torch. I was so out on this one. All right. I don't mind the sculpted glasses. I don't, again, they have such an issue doing glasses. I don't have a problem with them sculpting the glasses. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not going to show him without it. Torch was always my favorite Dreadnought. But looking at this one, of the 3 that we've gotten, well, we've gotten 2 in hand. We've seen some other ones, but of the 3 major and the main ones, the first 3, this is the one that I like least, just by the digital render. I know some people have an issue with the chains around his wrist, but hey, you got to modernize it a little bit. I'm tired of seeing. I don't want to see just the complete duplicates of our O-ring figures. So anyway, but there you go. Like I said, the only complaint that I have is that it says Knox spelt wrong on his backpack. But I don't care what kind of torch it is, that it's an actual flamethrower. Again, that's going to be used for blowtorch. You can just look at it and tell that's going to be used for blowtorch. That whole thing right there is blowtorch. Blowtorch is already done for the most part. Who else? God, who were we pointing out? There was another digital render that we were kind of pointing out that is airtight and blowtorch. Actually, the alley, not the alley viper, the mole rat is pretty much airtight and what is probably going to be blowtorch. So, and this is my favorite of the wave that I have seen, and that is Jinx. I like this. She doesn't have a lot of accessories. I was never a huge Jinx fan to begin with. I like the fact that they removed the arms. They gave her a separate head. So if we want to, if you want her masked, you can. The blindfold is awesome. Again, she has the katana blade. Now, I know there was someone in the Facebook group that talked about the staff and what it's called. I don't know. It looks very similar to what she had. And I think it's fun. I like this figure. Hopefully it is built on a little bit better buck than some of these females have been. We've seen broken arms that pop off. They are so thin in the plastic that they've been using. Sometimes they kind of pop off a little bit too easy. But for me, this is my favorite of the wave. Probably this one and then Doc. But I think they all look really good. And I mean, even things that I've mentioned, even figures that I haven't liked, they seem to just knock these ones out of the park. So, but that's your GI Joes. That was the digital renders. Everyone's already talked about it. I know I'm way behind because it all happened on Thursday, right? And they kind of just came through. The fact they didn't do a live stream, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, another drink. Now we're going to get into what's coming up. And the reason why I'm doing this is, you know what? Sorry, it's somewhere else. And first off, I got to say, Chaz, if you're still listening, this is a bullshit move. First off, you put your logo on it, so I have to give you credit for it, or I had to put my logo over your head. I already had to do enough cropping to remove all my Instagram shit. But listen, if you're going to do this, don't put your logo on it so people can't not give you credit. It's just not really cool of you. Also, if you don't know, Chaz's logo, Chaz's avatar is Baby Grogu in a Sith outfit. So, anyway, so for April, we should be getting Metalhead, Retro Duke, Retro Scarlet, Retro Recondo, Airborne, Techno Viper, 60th Action Diver, and 60th Anniversary Soldier. Now, we already know that the Diver is out. I don't believe that we're going to have to wait till April to see all these. I think they will be coming throughout, but he went with everything that was put out there. So this is a really good. It's gonna be a really good look of everything that's coming the whole year. So we already know that all this is coming. All this stuff is already pre-ordered. And then May we have the Vamp with Clutch, Big Boa, and Quick Kick. Now the Vamp and the SMS is already rumored to be in the U.S. The Vamp, they said, came in with. No, I'm sorry. The Vamp was rumored that it was hitting along with the SMS, just like Junkyard was coming in at the same time that the HACK was coming out, and of course they came out fairly early. We didn't know anything about. We didn't know anything about the fact that the Diver was showing up. That just kind of showed up at Amazon and started shipping out. So that's an interesting thing. But I think this Vamp will be going out really, really soon. Again, you have Big Boa, Quick Kick. Let's say it quickly. DJ No Good Jinx needed the alternate training staff to beat the stuffing out of Beachhead. Ooh, you mean the Pugil stick? That's actually a pretty good call. I don't know if they're trying to. It's hard to say what they're doing. They let Super 7 do stuff like retro, and then they're like, "Here you go. Here's our retro," and they just fucking plow over Super 7. So Liquid Energy says Amazon Canada has Metalhead listed for March 1st. Yeah, a lot of these again. Yeah, Andrew Grogan. Likely with American International Toy Fair coming in a couple of weeks, Hasbro likely won't do a live stream for GI Joe until after that. I believe there's supposed to be a live stream. The rumors, I believe, at the end of this month. There's really no reason why we're waiting this long. So the Vamp will go back up once they start shipping. They will have a few more, and then they're going to do more. Don't worry. There's going to be more Vamps. Again, I think there's going to be a stinger. So anyway, for August, we get Night Creeper, Dreadnought Torch, Jinx, Doc, Nagahide, Snow Serpent, so the Retro Snow Serpent, and Retro Cobra Eel. So all you people that have been absolutely worried about the Cobra Eel, just wait. Retro Beachhead, Tiger Force Tripwire, and Roadblock 2-pack. Now, where those are coming, again, I have a feeling this may just be a Pulse exclusive because they're Tiger Force. Unless if they're allowing other people to, the other fan channels to have it, just because Target hasn't had any 2-packs, but I could be completely wrong. And it oddly enough, it's the only Tiger Force stuff that's still coming out. Summer 2024, we have the HasLab, Dragonfly, Wild Bow, Night Force Ripcord, Glenda, and Night Force Crazy Legs, which means Crazy Legs has got to be coming either early 2025 or late 2024. I would say early 2025. We know Ripcord is coming. Glenda is what helped produce, the Retro Scarlet. So in September, the HB Blossom Vehicle and HB Buttercup. So that will probably be. Well, I don't know. Let's go through these. I'm wondering when the ferret was even talked about. Like, I don't think they talked about when the ferret would be coming. So in October, we have Alpine, Iron Grenadier Bat, Iron Grenadier, Bam Bam. Then we have the 60th Action Pilot, 60th Action Marine, Retro Cobra Commander, which Chris McLeod finally did leak. I made the mistake of asking Lenny. I thought it was already confirmed. And then we have the Retro Aki, Retro Azrael. We have Raptor Deluxe. Boo. And Highway Pet. So we have another pet that's coming. Again, lots and lots of stuff. Billy Renfro says you just have to check off them because they will sell out again quick. I think he's talking about the Vamp. If you're just watching it, yeah. And yeah, Woody says one of them has got to be the ferret. You're absolutely right. But I also think that we're going to be getting a stinger this year because, like I said, the SMS is coming, and not everyone has the HIS tank. So you need something to tow that SMS. There's no doubt about it. And the stinger makes the most sense because Emily did say on Dan Who, she did confirm that we're getting another vehicle before the end of the year. So here we have the SMS Techno Viper, no release date. Alpine, which he talked about earlier. Leatherneck, Xandar, Cobra Ferret, Starduster, Nemesis Enforcer, Boo. Starduster is going to be also a deluxe. They've already discussed that. It's going to have something to do with the cereal box. So now what it is, I don't know. Rumored is Road Pig and Heart Wrencher. I think we all know we're getting a Road Pig fairly soon, and I have a feeling that he's going to be very large, and I think built off the Nemesis Enforcer buck. Because I think he's actually, he has to be at least as big as Gung Ho and Roadblock. Then the question becomes, do you just make him overly sized? So, and then unassigned code words: Scrappy, Fred Deluxe. Ooh, could Fred actually be Fred? We got Whip Snakes, 2-pack. We have Yogi, Zorak, Boo Boo, Space Ghost, Pebbles, and George of the Jungle. Anyway, that's it. Thank you to Chaz the Guru. I have to give him credit because he puts his fucking logo on everything, so people can't steal it. But I was going to cover it up on all of them because I told him he would have got a kick out of it. Anyway, but yeah, and I don't think that's it. I don't think that's all we're going to get. We still have the Pulse exclusive, or the Pulse. We have San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Then we're going to have PulseCon exclusive. There's going to be other ones that are going to pop up. So like I said, I think we're probably going to get like 70 to 80 figures, and you can see all the different things that we're getting right there. It is crazy how many things we're going to get. And there hasn't been any word on when the Target exclusive Mindbender and Trouble Bubble are coming out. That's got to be coming soon. It was one of the first things that Viper Island had reported on. You can't really find it anymore because he's removed it. But yeah. Whew. That was a mouthful. Hey, don't you listen? I know what you're referring to, and I have a Dodge Journey. We will not refer to that vehicle as a Dodge Journey. Although, if I can get a gun turn on the top of mine, it'd be really, really awesome. Yes, Leatherneck better have either an M16 with a grenade launcher, or if it's modernized, an M4 with the 302. All I care about. Like, it has to have the grenade launcher on it, because I really want to the M16. If you could model it to be just like Dutch's from Predator, it would be absolutely awesome. I would be excited and super happy about it. All right. Take another drink. Okay, look, DJ No Good. You're not gonna like all the exclusives. Next HasLab, all I will say is Cobra La. It will not be Cobra La. Although if it is, it might save me some money. That might be the beginning of me saying nope. We talked about this before. I really do think, and this is a shot in the dark. I believe that they are going in on the Iron Grenadiers. I believe we're going to get one of Destro's vehicles as the next HasLab. I think it really makes sense. You want to go heavy with the Iron Grenadiers. I mean, you're already giving, the Iron Grenadier bat. Like, that really doesn't, that doesn't exist. So they're creating another bat, which is fine by me. More bats. I'm fine with more bats. So, we have to be getting an Iron Grenadier Destro eventually. So I have a feeling that's probably what we're going to be coming. This is kind of my idea that I'm throwing out there. Because I don't really know what else you could do. There's a lot. I know there's a lot of things you can do for HasLab. But if you're producing stuff like a Vamp and SMS, you have to do something a little bit bigger, something different. Again, it's not going to be a whale. So that would be like $600 to $700. You just kind of got to watch, and look at a size vehicle of somewhere between $300 and $350. Hopefully not. Hopefully around 300. I hope they don't go past the 300 mark. So, Ed, if you gave me a battle platform and you said, "Hey, this is $500," I would have no. Especially if you made it like I've described, like, "Hey, you could make it its own table." I'd have no problem with it. I would be all for it. DJ, listen, I know I know Galop. I mean, they're not doing Nemesis, Enforcer, / whatever it is, Nemesis, whatever it is. I know we're getting Globulus and all them. I hate it. I don't like any of Cobra Law. I wish it was just gone. Like, wipe it from my memory. I'd be super cool with that. But I do understand, they're gonna do it. And that might be the first thing that I say, hey, you know what? I'm not into. But even everything that I've said, even figures that I don't really care for, that I didn't like in O-ring form, everything they've done almost great. I think Barbecue, again, my feeling, I never had Barbecue as a kid. I didn't even want him. Believe me, if you've been around the channel long enough, if I wanted the GI Joe figure, I pretty much got it. It was one of the figures I didn't want. Same with Tripwire. But I think they're both absolutely awesome figures. Woody says, I think Destro with the spoiler will be the SDCC exclusive, and we'll get the Demon as a HasLab since they connect together. Well, here's what you have to understand. They do not connect the HasLab with San Diego Comic-Con. But what they do connect, and Lenny confirmed it with me because I said something to him, they do connect the San Diego Comic-Con to the PulseCon exclusives. So whatever you get from, if they don't show them at the same time, whatever we're going to get at San Diego Comic-Con, it is going to connect to the PulseCon exclusive. Usually, I can't even say I mean, they've only done it twice. And one year was Serpentor and Mindbender. The next year was the Crimson Strike team and Chuckles. So it doesn't even have to be like a Joe and Cobra. It can be 2 Cobra, it can be 2 Joes, or one of either. So I just don't see it being. I don't see it being a Rattler. It would be huge. It is a square plane. A10s are not small. And again, the reason, in my opinion, and I have no inside knowledge, the reason why you get away with the Dragonfly is because, yes, it's long, but it's also thin. And once you turn the propeller, it's in line. so you can put it up against your wall. A Rattler, you can't do that. That's one of the issues, in my opinion. As much as I think it would be awesome, the thing would be gigantic. And again, you look at an A10, you know, they're as wide as they are long. You are talking about a almost a 3 by 3 foot, you know, 3 feet long, 3 feet wide. I just don't see it happening. And maybe I'm completely wrong. You know, I'm not saying I would be against it. Woody says, yeah, I think that, I think that 2 Punk, the Rattler, is just going to be too big with the scale. And believe me, I know someone's going to say, oh, have you seen the 3D printed Night Raven? I did. It's gigantic. It's like as big as a fucking couch. Does it look awesome? It does. But it's gigantic. All right. So let's get to the topic. Now, I have a camera set up, and I'm going to go over some of the stuff. Now, I really don't have any ideas of, you know, you can go to BBTS, and you can find a lot of different backdrops. A lot of things, accessories that you can use. Not everyone wants to pay $115 for a NECA display. And not everyone wants to pay $50 for some cardboard. With that said, the cardboard that those Extreme Sets use is really good quality. And not everyone has a 3D printer. Not everyone has the ability to buy everything. But you can get some other stuff fairly on the cheap. Not everyone, myself, has creative ability like Payne's Toy Samples and Aaron the Toy Enhancer, who, if you're not watching him, his Instagram, he's building something gigantic right now. Not to mention I don't have the space. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the stuff over here. And we're just going to kind of go over some of the stuff of what I use for my backdrops. I don't get super crazy with my stuff. I do like to have stuff. I just don't want, as Largo had said before, every shelf should tell a story some way. So, and if you haven't yet, 71 people here, take a second, hit that like button if you haven't. There's so many other things. We've already discussed it. You guys have been here for this long. Thank you very much. Again, good stream so far, I think. Everyone seems to be happy. Anyway, now let's take a look at everything that I have back here. No, Eric, I will show you. I will show you in a second. That's the one thing. But whoever designed them, when they printed them, the print, they don't hold like that. So give me 1 second here. I got to turn. So let's make this full screen. All right, so first and foremost, like I said, not everyone is going to spend, the $115 over on this thing right here. All right. Now, my personal opinion, I think it is absolutely amazing. This thing is great and worth all the money. All right. Now, I am going to be hopefully getting a video done this week discussing this. Digital Diarrhea has actually sent me some lights that you can install over here and here. But I also want to put LED lights on the inside so I can use that so you can see inside. I know Matthew has done that. So looking at a few of the things that I do have here. So I have these are things that I printed up. So here's a barrier, a cement barrier. This is only black because it was done on accident. My printer is kind of sensitive, and when I went to print it, I meant to do another oil barrel, and it printed this up. And by the time I noticed, it was too late to stop. And even though this looks like it connects into here, this is actually how they look in real life. I happened to notice on the road today. But as you can see, they have a nice display here. Again, they work really, really well. There's no doubt about it. And again, if you have a 3D printer and you can print them, great. If not, hit me up and we can discuss, I can get you some. And the barrels, now this was the thing. Like somebody had hit me up. He wanted 6 of them. Now, unfortunately, Eric, what you had asked is that they can hold stuff. They're really thick. The infill that I've done is really nice. Unfortunately, the lids just stay on top. I thought that this was sized wrong, but it's actually sit up there. So they do not close. That's the unfortunate thing. But I love them. You see them in a lot of my pictures, a lot of stuff that I have in the back. But so that's like a couple of things. This was 3D printed for me. This was actually printed for Wolverine. I use it for Dr. Mindbender. I actually had Sergeant Slaughter in there. It is kind of small, but it's one of these things. So these are like the 3D printed things. You know, I do have, you know, these walls that I print up, and it's just something that gives it, you know, gives the illusion in the back. They do kind of plug in together. Now I'm just showing you obviously the gray, you know, the gray and the red ones. And I want to do something a little bit different. It's hard for me to actually watch all of this to read the chat. So kind of quickly back looking here. So Ted is here. Nice to see you. Get rid of that. Good to see you, Ted. And then we have Greg, who 3D printed most of this stuff. The Kendo hollow barrels, or I can do hollow barrel. The barrels are hollow; they just don't connect on there. But anyway, so there's a couple of the things that I just have 3D printed, and then I have these, which Greg, who you just saw, talked about. You know, I use these. I think these things look absolutely amazing. These actually do hold on. I actually took these and I put my weapons when we went to Florida. I threw my weapons in here, so I didn't have to worry about them getting all messed up and everything. So really nice there. But a lot of things, now these here, I know people get these at the dollar store, and they're awesome. Now I got these. If you look here, it's actually they're actually notepads that we get through work. So I just took them, and again, here you have your again, this is when you have that total brain fart of like, hey, what the fuck is the name of it? I can't think of what these are called. You guys know what they're called. But anyway, it's just good for the backdrop. It's good to add stuff to it. Again, I have to look behind me. I'm trying to read some of these. Brick says here, funny topic, and just sent some photos to Ed, Thanos, Oz, Bud, Ken, and Pan of some props at a local store here. DM your pics. They have cool stage monitors, crates. Yeah, again, like things like that. Like you don't have to spend all kinds of money on this stuff. JLS says another name for the K-berry is the Jersey. Yes, the Jersey berry. You're absolutely correct. But like this here, this was found at 5 and Below. They have a few things. I can thank Thanos Copter for this one, and it comes with all this different food and everything like that. And again, the doors open up. It actually has a propane tank inside of it. You got your ketchup and mustard. You got utensils. Super cool. Again, $5. At 5 and Below. And this here is another thing that you can find on BBTS, and it's kind of small, but it's kind of like a Subway. Now they have other things that you can connect to it and make it longer. Now, I really like it, and I know I've had people that have mentioned to me, how they look, and they've seen it in my backdrop, wondering, all about it and what it is. But you can find them on BBTS. This thing was like $40 or $45. I think I might have bought the one that was marked down because I really didn't care. But they're all little individual pieces. And these things, this is all one. These are all 4 different individual pieces. They connect on the bottom. And they do have like different levels. So you can create all kinds of different things like that. So
Matthew says, I need some of those weapons crates and Random's computer display. I've been asking him if I can stop by his place. Well, yeah, that's the next thing. So when Random sent me the different coasters that he had made for me, he sent me one of these, and I've yet to do any picks with this. I keep meaning to. Hopefully I'm going to get around to it this weekend. This is all handmade. Random Diorama does it. Check out his Etsy store. They are expensive, and I mentioned this before, and I don't even want to hear about it. If someone's going to bitch about it, just walk away. He does a wonderful job and a wonderful stream. But he sent this to me. Again, they're all labeled, but these are things that people can create on themselves. He actually does a stream showing you how to do it. But the amount of paint that he puts into this and different things like this. But you can make all this stuff on your own. This is stuff that is fully available for you and others to do. And it adds so much. If you're doing photography, it's one thing. But even if you're just displaying your figures in the back, I'm not a fan of your vanilla poses. But this is another one of the things that you can look at. Again, Random Diorama. He has his own Etsy store. So there's something that you can look at. I'm just trying to read some of these comments here because I do have to look behind. So you have Brick Something. There's a cool full-up dolly cut, an A-frame ladder, bathtub and soda pop. Yeah, see, like those are the types of things like I need to look for. You can find, again, a lot of this stuff on entertainment or BBTS. So this is an extreme set. Again, thank you to Greg, who was like, this is too big for me. Too big for my place. Do you want it? Now, again, these are like $50, $55, I think. And again, it's all cardboard. It is really thick. They're designed nice. Now, this is meant to be a whole arcade. So it has 4 different walls for it, and it also has a top for it. So it's really nice. Again, I kind of break it down because I don't have a lot of space, and I kind of put it against the wall. So they're in front of it when I use it or when I'm doing like pictures and stuff. Here's another side of it. Now this is kind of why I took the door that I 3D printed, and the frame fit perfect in the door. So I cut out the door. The frame fits in here. So now when you're actually looking at it, it's just not a cardboard door. I have something that, door actually sits there. It's sticking out. So it's 3-dimensional in many ways. The other thing that people seem to absolutely love, and this came with another one of the 3D Extreme sets, and that is these steps. And I had these up there for quite some time. There is an actual alleyway for this here. But what I did do, and I never really finished painting it, was I want to create a tunnel for tunnel rat coming out. So basically I want this on the outside. It's very large, so it's hard to use over here with the amount of space that I have. But I wanted to basically like the steps going up to the top there. And then you have a tunnel where tunnel rat can kind of be coming out. That's why I cut the. But there's all kinds of different props that you can use, and it's just kind of a topic that I wanted to talk about and see what other people are using. Yes, again, like this here, like I said, I have these for sale. If anyone is interested, 4 for $25 shipped. Again, the problem is I wish these actually did kind of cap on. They just kind of move around, but they look amazing. And if you're doing photography or you want some stuff in the back, I got a lot of other stuff, obviously, that's been given to me by Greg. So let's remove this here. But that's, I didn't have any idea. I mean, my plan wasn't really to show you like, hey, you can go here and get this and buy this here. But there's so many different things, and I want to get some other guys' ideas. Just kind of want to get some other guys' ideas of where you get your stuff from. Brick has already mentioned where he found a few things. Yes, Tony Figs, he loves the vanilla posing. Yes, he likes vanilla sex, I'm assuming too. DJ No Good says, Ollie's had a ton of Fortnite stuff. I grab a couple of the arcade. I actually have a bunch of the arcade. I totally forgot the arcade games. Yes, the arcade games are really cool. The arcade machines that actually scale well with 112 and with weapons inside can be used for small storage. The only thing I don't like about them, and I guess you could always cut it off, is they have like the racks to hold the weapons. But I also have like a computer mainframe downstairs that I 3D printed. Again, a lot of the 3D printing stuff, unless if you're painting it, it's kind of bland because it's almost always one color unless you have a really high end printer that can do multiple colors. Greg, Mr. Robot background. That's what it reminds me of from the TV show. I'm not sure what. Talking about all that stuff over there. Again, it's hard for me to keep up with this. Matthew says, I got a bunch of extreme sets for 75% off at my LCS because no one bought them. I love them, but they are limited. You know what? And I think what the best thing about those extreme sets are, if you get them on sale, because if you have an imagination, you can use it for so many different things. If I wanted to only take this here and use it as a building, well, it's going to take up a huge chunk of wherever it's at because it's large. The thing kind of gets knocked around. But if you're willing to use it as a corner piece and take your pictures like that, or just in your diorama, I think that works out really well. So, JLS says, I have a stairway to heaven in my head now for some reason. With a little tunnel for a tunnel rat to come out of. I'm just kind of seeing if anyone else has any other ideas. I know I kind of went through a lot of different things here. I just made 4 trees for a diorama scene that I'm working on with paper towels and hot glue gun. That's what I need. I need to do some trees because really all this jungle stuff that we have, and I have no trees. I can't find like trees to print, like free trees to 3D print. Like you think that it would be fairly easy, and every time that I find a tree, it always seems like they're too small and stuff like that. So super action stuff has a bunch of great props and stuff. Yeah, they do. Not so much. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so much for background, but for the props, yes. A lot of little things. I don't care for some of the stuff that they have. Like I don't like the colors of some of them. I like the Casket of Cruelty. I thought that one was awesome. A lot of blood splatter and different things like that. The one with all the puke and stuff, just didn't really care for it because I don't know how much puke I'm actually going to be using. Yeah, so Nostalgia Unbox had decals for the arcade games. I know that he has, I believe he has a bunch of little like cardboard cutouts too that you can purchase. Where when I mean cardboard cutouts, I believe like they're just flat pieces and you like what we used to do as kids, right? And I think you kind of move them around and everything, and you build them to where they need to be, but they can be shipped flat and probably for a much cheaper rate. So, Shark Guy says, Punk, you've seen my Zbop toys, dial pieces, not cheap, but great for posing and dial photography. Yeah, yes. Another thing that I need to eventually get is, I know a lot of people have seen the turf or the grass that Gridiron did, and it's very expensive and it looks really nice, but you can go to Home Depot and pick up some turf really cheap and just some outdoor or indoor grass or indoor turf or whatever, and use it as your grass. And again, you don't need a lot, but you have to figure out how much you're going to use. And, again, it's going to make it look nicer. Figuring out how to stand the figures, well, that's a whole nother issue, to be honest with you, because they're not going to be flat. And again, you're not going to want to use stand for something like that, because that would be a huge eyesore to look at. Johnny Reno says, I keep the cardboard and styrofoam inserts from electronics and furniture. I'm working on a diorama built from the box on a flat screen TV. So I have some stuff downstairs that I just use. I didn't try and customize it. I didn't try and do anything. I'm not a good customizer. That I use for my O-ring stuff. That I actually have like where, because it's white, I use it for the Arctic, and I have the my snow cats actually underneath it and different things like that. So it's meant to come out. So, and then the video game consoles. I use puppy pee pads for my grass, unless I'm actually outside. Aren't those blue though? Shouldn't that be used for water? And Greg says Hobby Lobby for trees and foam for flocking. Here's the problem with Hobby Lobby is they're not open on a fucking Sunday, and that's like the only day that I ever go out that way. I've never been in a Hobby Lobby, and Olivia and I were out not too long ago. I'm like, you know what? We're going to Hobby Lobby. I've never been in there, and we need to find some stuff for Christmas. And then we went in Big Lots and found it, and I'm like, we're not going to Hobby Lobby. Dollar Tree had the fake grass? Really? Huh. We have to go look now. Because I have them all over the damn place. You're a fucking heathen, Ed. So anyway, that's just some stuff that I use for different backgrounds for when I'm trying to do my pictures. And again, I use an iPhone when I do my pictures. I'm not the greatest photographer. I try and do better. I feel like I've moved a little bit. I don't sit in my chair taking pictures. Ed actually saw me take his tank out into the snow and take some pictures. I think he was really happy about that. But yeah, there's a few, it's just a few things. And again, you don't have to be you don't have to go super expensive. This thing was $115 that I got from Sergeant Reds. You can still pre-order it on Entertainment Earth and BBTS. I think it's worth it. Like, I really do think that this street scene is absolutely worth it. Now, $115 for this. How NECA decided that they were coming up at $300 for this turtle sewer makes no sense whatsoever. But for this, really good price. These here, again, I forget what they're called, but if you go through BBTS and you just start looking for dials, you'll see it. And a lot of people like it. It also has a railing. It's just a clear piece of plastic, but it has a railing on it. Again, looks really nice, and you can connect everything together. But I just think it's something. I really hate the vanilla poses. Again, it's your action figures. They're your toys. Maybe you keep them in the box. Don't understand that one. But there's a lot of things that you can do. And I like getting people's ideas. If you have some stuff, shoot me some pictures, because I would love to see what other people are doing. It gives me ideas of things that I can do, because I'm always trying to add, even though I'm running out of space. I'm finding, I think, more of like how Ed is and Matthew. When you start, taking more pictures, yeah, your figures aren't always displayed because you're pulling them down, you're doing stuff with them, moving them around, different things like that. So, Johnny Reno says, my phone is 14 years old, Lawrence. Are we still back on that phone thing? I don't know what aggravates me more. That you have a shit fucking phone that's 14 years old, or people get mad that I don't read their fucking comments. And Tony, I've never been to fucking Chick-fil-A, so fuck you. Yeah, neither one of those things have I ever been to. But anyway, there you go. I gave you guys 3 hours. I'm awesome. And it wasn't even a lull. So still 56 of you still watching. We got our spike was much earlier in the episode. And it spiked again when we got the GI Joe, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, is the topic decent for you guys? I'm always trying to make sure that it's something that you guys are going to enjoy. Again, again, it was much easier to do, when GI Joe, when you were collecting the 118 stuff. When you're collecting the 118 stuff, they already made the bases for you, and you had bunkers and different things like that. But we definitely have to do, there's a lot of stuff that's out there, but it comes to creating. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing wonderful creation. Like I said, Random Diorama is amazing. If you're not following him on YouTube, go over and follow him. Yeah. Friday night he does a stream and he talks you through it, and you got any questions to ask. I just don't ever have that type of time or patience, I guess. You're taking phone calls during my live stream. Come on. Anyway, thank you guys all. I had a blast today. I think today was actually a really good show. You talk so much, your mouth gets dry. But I continue to talk and talk and talk and talk, don't I? Anyway, this Thursday movie flashback, we will be discussing They Live, which is, I believe, Roddy Piper's only movie that he ever did. Again, I thought that I had seen it. I'm positive that I have never seen it till just the other day. So I still have to do my notes on it. I have a lot to say about it in many ways. So yes, Matthew and I will both be on this Thursday, 10 p.m. to discuss that. And then I will obviously mention it again, but this Friday, Matthew, my moderator, he will be on Payne's Toy Samples, Made to Cry. And, I guess since I'm here, if I'm talking about my one moderator, I should also mention Action Figs, Ed. He does a stream on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. So, Ed, drop a link to your channel if you're here, Ed. If you're not, then Matthew, drop a link to Ed's channel. Go over and check it out tomorrow. You guys don't have anything else going on. There's no other live streams going, right? There's no other toy tubers going. And Ed is a very fascinating person, in my opinion. Of course, he's my moderator, so I have to say all kinds of nice things. And Greg, just so you know, Tony is going to be starting on Tony is going to be starting on your 18 figure soon. So he hasn't even started on the junkyard because he doesn't have the painting yet. So, or not junkyard, the Roman. So it's going to be a little while before we get those back. But I don't think you're in a rush anyway. I know you still got a lot of stuff going on with your home. So, anyway, I'm waiting for that link to Action Figs. Anyone? Any of the moderators like Action Figs? Probably jumped over into someone else's live stream. Nothing like catching your moderator cheating on you on another live stream. Oh, look, there it is, Ed. Go check out Ed. Honest to God, why he doesn't have more subscribers, I don't know. I'm never going to tell people, hey, you know what? You should go over here unless if I really think they give you some good content. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here.
thank you very much for spending 3+ hours with me. Hopefully I can come up with some more topics that are similar to this. It was hard to read the comments and turn around and look at what I was trying to show you guys. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I gotta stop talking. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night. I am out of here. We will see you guys all Thursday. Every single one of you will be. Hit that like button. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe channel. Hit subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Everyone, take care.